Chapter 2304. The lady in red looked at Murong Qingqing and smiled. Fairy Murong, young Master Lin is chatting with my master and will be back soon. If there's anything, just call me. Okay, thank you. Murong Qingqing nodded. The lady in red left with her people. The surrounding people were shocked. Heavens, what was the relationship between these people and the Moonflower Shyness Palace? How could they be treated so politely by the Moonflower Shyness Palace? One must know that the Moonflower Shyness Palace didn't even respect such a terrifying family like the Ting family. One could imagine how powerful they were. However, Murong Qingqing received such honorable treatment. This shocked everyone, especially the Ting family's third young master, who frowned. Teng Kuan sneered. I underestimated you. Don't think that you can provoke me just because you have the Moonflower Shyness Palace's support. Just you wait. When the banquet ends and you leave this palace, I'll see who can save you. When the time comes, I'll make you kneel and beg me. After speaking, Teng Kuan snorted and turned to leave. The Teng family's first young master and third young master looked at Murong Qingqing and the others with a sinister smile. Then they left as well. Next, young Master Qianshan and the others also left. Junior sister, why didn't you tell them your identity and scare them to death? Let them be arrogant. Zhao Zhirua snorted. She naturally couldn't stand the arrogant attitude of Teng Kuan and the others. So what? Aren't they just an invincible king family? The Jade Lake Sacred Ground had produced a great emperor. They weren't on the same level. However, Murong Qingqing shook her head. No need. I can still fight against them without any identity. Besides, I came out this time to gain experience in the mortal world. Xiao Ling, Xiao Kuang, and the others didn't know Murong Qingqing's true identity, so they said worriedly, Big Sister Murong, come with us later. Otherwise, I'm worried that those guys will attack you. Murong Qingqing smiled. She didn't take this matter to heart. On the other side, young Master Qianshan invited Teng Kuan and the other three young masters of the Teng clan to the side. Damn it, I'm so angry. Teng Kuan gritted his teeth. The other party actually dared to spill wine all over his face. Since he was young, he had never suffered such a loss. This was a slap to his face. The Teng family's third young master scoffed. If it weren't for the fact that we can't fight here, they would have become my second brother's slaves long ago. Also, that kid actually dared to be so arrogant towards us when he was outside. At that time, he would deal with him as well. Of course, I want to see his beloved woman being tortured by me with my own eyes. Teng Kuan revealed a hideous smile. However, young Master Qianshan reminded them, don't let your guard down. Not long ago, that kid killed young Master Bai Yun and more than 10 peerless experts of my city lord mansion. It could be said that his strength was terrifying, and he acted without any scruples. What? There was actually such a thing. The Teng family's eldest young master and third young master were also astonished. Teng Kuan also took a deep breath, and a solemn look appeared in his eyes. But soon after, he revealed a cold smile. So what? No matter how powerful that kid is, I must kill him today. Also, that ***, I must let her know how powerful I am. Gentlemen, if you can really get rid of them, I believe the White Cloud Mansion will be very grateful to you. Young Master Qianshan said in a deep voice. Is that so? The others sneered when they heard that. It seems like that kid is definitely going to die. How about this? Send out the 4 Jiuli demons. What? You want to use them? The eldest young master was shocked when he heard Teng Kuan's words. At the side, young Master Qianshan's eyes lit up. Second brother, aren't you making a mountain out of a molehill? The third young master said, I'm doing this just in case. Teng Kuan took a deep breath. This time, I can't let them escape. Therefore, I can't allow any mistakes. Besides, that kid is very powerful, and that ***Tsich was able to block my attack just now. Come to think of it, she must be a genius too. It's not safe to let others do it, let alone the people from the Hong sect. Therefore, the 4 Jiuli demons will definitely die if we send them out. However, we need the permission of our clan leader to use them. No, we'll use our identities to forcefully control them. After this matter is settled, we'll apologize to our clan leader. Alright, I'll contact the 4 Jiuli demons now. The eldest young master of the Ting family also took a deep breath. Since they had already made up their minds, they would not go back on their words. Soon, they hurriedly contacted the clan leader. Fortunately, there were only the 3 young masters of the Ting family and young Master Qian Shan nearby. Otherwise, the others would definitely scream in fear if they heard that. That was because the 4 Jiuli demons were 4 very powerful demon kings of the Jiuli dynasty. Among them, the great demon and the second demon were all peerless mighty figures. Although the 3 demons and the 4 demons were not peerless mighty figures, they were not far from it. They were far more powerful than ordinary top mighty figures. It could be said that the 4 of them were very terrifying when they joined forces. It would be easy for them to kill a peerless mighty figure. It could be said that they were more than enough to deal with these young people. They could not escape. Even if they were saints or princes, they would not be a match for the 4 Jiuli demons in a one-on-one battle. Moreover, how could these people be saints and princes? Therefore, they would definitely die. For a moment, the few of them sneered. In addition, in the secret chamber, Lin Xian still did not know what was happening outside. At this moment, he was drinking tea and chatting with Luo Li. At this moment, Lin Xian asked again, "Oh right, do you know anything about the nest of 10,000 dragons?" News about the nest of 10,000 dragons? Luo Li was stunned when he heard that. Then he said, "I know a little." Seeing Lin Xian's expectant gaze, Luo Li hurriedly explained. According to our intelligence, the beast tide of the Jiuli dynasty this time is related to the nest of 10,000 dragons. It seems that these demons are preparing for something. It seems that it should be related to the 10,000 dragons' annihilation. Moreover, the demons have a wide range of influence, and many people from the human race have dealings with them. Among them, there are half-demon clans and some human clans that have been bribed by them. It seemed that the nest of 10,000 dragons would appear soon. At that time, it was uncertain whether it would be a blessing or a curse. There were humans who were colluding with the demons. Lin Xian was surprised. He did not expect this matter to be so complicated. But then he asked again, "Well, aren't there countless treasures in the nest of 10,000 dragons?" Although that was the case, there was another rumor. That was the nest of 10,000 dragons, the place where dragons were buried. Legend had it that these dragons were not dead, but asleep. Chapter 2305. Luali didn't say anything else, but a hint of worry appeared in her eyes. Dragons were legendary existences. If they were to revive, what kind of earth-shaking changes would they bring? In the end, dragons were also a type of monster race. In the end, would the dragons support humans or revive the monster race? It was still an unknown. Therefore, it was hard to say whether it was a blessing or a curse. "Brother Xian, didn't you have a dragon by your side?" Hearing this, the dark red dragon stuck its head out of the black earth. "Little girl, why are you looking for me?" Seeing this scene, Luali was shocked, but she quickly recovered. She looked at the dark red dragon and said in a deep voice, "You should know how terrifying dragons are. Although the human race is prosperous now, in ancient times, the human race was very weak. At that time, the 10,000 races were at their peak. The human race was just one of them. In addition, there were many powerful races, and the dragons were one of them. If these terrifying races were to revive, it was unknown whether the human race would be able to resist them. Powerful races? What were they?" Lin Xian was shocked. He didn't know these ancient secrets. Loli seemed to know a little. She said that there were many races in the 10,000 ancient races. The most powerful ones, other than the dragons, were the Tianji race, the spirit race, the light race, the Kuanping race, the Yaksha race, and so on. In short, there were many races, and most of them were monster race. Were there really so many 10,000 ancient races? Lin Xian was shocked. Loli nodded. In the past, there were countless heads in our heavenly court. Among them, there were dragons. There were also spirit race and Tianji race. For example, Yaksha, heavenly ant, and so on. The heads of all kinds of strange shapes were all over the ground. Those were the heads of saints. It was said that in hell, there was a wall that was completely piled up with the heads of the terrifying 10,000 ancient races. Hearing this, Lin Xian sucked in a breath of cold air. As expected of the ancient god of killers, the dynasty was indeed terrifying. But soon he frowned. Originally, he wanted to explore the nest of 10,000 dragons because he wanted to obtain the treasures inside. But now, it seemed that it was extremely dangerous inside. But no matter what, he had to give it a try. After all, that was the legendary treasure trove. After chatting for a while, Lin Xian prepared to leave. Because Murong Qingqing and the others were still outside. Older brother Xian, if you have any difficulties, you can come find me. If you want to kill any experts, you can also come here for a mission. Don't worry, I won't be courteous if it's useful. Lin Xian smiled and left. Looking at Lin Xian's back as he left, Luo Li said indifferently, I really want to be with you. However, there are restrictions in my body. I'm afraid I'll never be able to leave this paradise. On the other side, Lin Xian left the room. There were 4 women waiting outside. They took Lin Xian away from the core area. Soon, Lin Xian arrived at the hall below. The outside was still bustling with noise and excitement. However, when Lin Xian came out, all eyes turned to look at him. Their eyes were filled with shock, surprise, and a trace of fear. The crowd automatically made a path for him. At this moment, not only the cultivators in the city, but even the cultivators outside were terrified. What a joke! Someone who was related to the Moonflower Palace was definitely not simple. Not everyone was like the Teng family's young master Qianshan, who had such a strong background. Ordinary cultivators did not dare to provoke them. Of course, there were also people who sneered and gloated. This was because they knew that this brat was dead meat. Lin Xian killed young master Bai Yun, and Murong Qingqing offended the Teng family's young master. Whether it was the White Cloud Mansion or the Teng family, they were both extremely terrifying. Even if this brat had the protection of the Moonflower Palace, no one would be able to save them once they left this place. Lin Xian ignored these people's gazes and strode over to Murong Qingqing and the others. Lin Xian said, Sorry for the wait. Murong Qingqing heaved a sigh of relief and smiled. Xiao Linger said, Big brother Lin, why are you only here now? Seriously, you really pissed me off just now. What's wrong? Lin Xian asked, Who made Ling angry? It's not me, it's someone who has designs on big sister Qingqing. Xiao Ling angrily recounted what had happened. Lin Xian frowned after hearing this. Someone actually dared to have designs on Murong Qingqing when he was not around and even dared to threaten them. He was courting death. A cold killing intent appeared in his eyes. At the side, Zhao Zhiruo reminded him, Be careful, that person is the young master of the Teng family. The Teng family is an invincible sovereign realm clan and is extremely terrifying. Moreover, they have many allies here. This time, you can't act rashly. If you really can't, you can ask the Moonflower Palace to escort you away. To be honest, Zhao Zhiruo was really worried. Moreover, she now knew that not only these people, but there was also an even more terrifying Tai dynasty behind them. Of course, she hoped that Lin Xian and Murong Qingqing could leave this place safely. Thank you for your concern, senior sister Zhiro. Lin Xian said. But then, he changed the topic and a sharp light appeared in his eyes. Cultivators of my generation never shrink from a battle. Since the other party dares to find trouble, then I won't be polite either. Let's go, Qingqing, I'll take revenge for you. Lin Xian held Murong Qingqing's small hand. Murong Qingqing smiled faintly. Okay. She followed Lin Xian and walked forward. Seeing this scene, Xiao Ling was incomparably excited. Great, I can finally take revenge. Previously, she was also very dissatisfied with the Teng family. Xiao Kuang snorted coldly, If necessary, I will also take action. Because he had long wanted to take action. Zhao Zhiruo sighed, Forget it, let's not persuade him. The other party even dared to kill the Golden Lion King, let alone the cultivators of the Teng family. I wonder what kind of scene will happen? Thinking of this, she quickened her steps and followed. Seeing Lin Xian and his group walking into the distance, the King Almighties in the surroundings began to discuss among themselves. They immediately opened up a path for them. However, everyone's gaze fell on Lin Xian and the others. Where is this kid going? Is he thinking of leaving? I think it's possible after all, he provoked the Teng family. He can't afford to offend them. Leaving now is the best way. What a joke, that's not an exit. It seems that he's going to look for the young master of the Teng family. I also think it's possible, with his character, he won't leave just like that. Don't forget about young master Bai Yun. Many people discussed, and in the next moment, they also followed behind Lin Xian. For a moment, the crowd surged forward like a dark cloud. The people in front naturally noticed this scene, so they all turned their heads. Chapter 2306. Teng Kuan, the second young master of the Teng family, naturally saw this and scoffed. A cold light flashed in his eyes. At the same time, he let go of the beauty in his arms and turned around to look behind him. Apart from him, the eldest young master of the Teng family, the third young master of the Teng family, young master Qianshan, and the other young masters of the major clans also came over. These people formed a powerful force. The air instantly condensed, and a terrifying invisible pressure pressed down on Lin Xian's courage. The pressure formed by these people joining forces was terrifying. Sure enough, in an instant, the expressions of all the King Almighties changed, and they retreated one after another. No one could withstand the pressure. In fact, they were worried that Lin Xian would be crushed in an instant. Lin Xian felt the pressure, but he snorted coldly and activated his great dragon sword soul. Buzz. A terrifying dragon's might was released, offsetting the terrifying pressure in front of him. The sound of ice and snow melting could be heard in the sky, and the terrifying pressure disappeared. Seeing this, Teng Kuan's face became even gloomier. Young Master Qianshan also had a grave look in his eyes. Everyone looked at Lin Xian. On the opposite side, a beautiful woman also stared at Lin Xian with flickering eyes. She was Yen Ryu. Lin Xian looked at Yen Ryu, then the corners of his mouth curled up. Long time no see. He did not directly acknowledge the other party but used this method. This way, if the other party was really Zhao Shui, she would definitely understand what he meant. After hearing this, Yen Ryu smiled faintly but did not say anything. Her beautiful eyes became even more profound. Everyone around was stunned. What's going on? Does this fella know Yen Ryu too? Oh God, how's that possible? Who exactly is this? Young Master Qianshan, the Teng family's young master, and the others also frowned. Among them, Teng Kuan even scoffed coldly. Fella, don't pretend to be mysterious. How could you know Fairy Yen? Are you here to die? Or are you here to beg for mercy? At this point he sneered. It wasn't just him. The people around him were all looking at Lin Xian with sneers on their faces. Young Master Qianshan waved his fan and stood with his hands behind his back. His eyes were cold. He wanted to see how this kid would deal with today's situation. Brat, you are very arrogant. I originally wanted to look for you, but I didn't expect you to take the initiative to come here. Very well, tell me, how do you want to settle this? If you want to apologize, you have to kneel down and count out of me 100 times. Also, give me your woman to play with for 2 days. I can spare your life. Ha! Hearing this, everyone laughed. They wanted to see what the other party would do. Would he really hand over the woman obediently? When Lin Xian heard this, the corners of his mouth curled up into a cold smile. Very well, let's do as you say. Now, kneel down and count out of me 100 times. Also, ask your mother to come over. I'll play with her for 2 days. I can spare your life. What? Hearing this, everyone was stunned. His eyes widened in disbelief. The faces of the Teng family's 3 young masters darkened at once. Damn brat, what did you say? The Teng family's 3rd young master roared ferociously, and a piercing killing intent appeared in his eyes. It was like a demonic sword that instantly pierced through the void. The Teng family's eldest young master and 2nd young master's faces were even gloomier. They were like raging volcanoes that would erupt at any time. The others were also shocked and in disbelief. Lin Xian sneered. But, am I allowed to insult others? Can't I insult you? Or are you born noble and superior? I said, obediently do as I say, and I can spare your life. Otherwise, today will be the day you die. You are courting death. Teng Kuan was also furious. No one had ever dared to insult him like this. Today, he must kill the other party. How dare you? Presumptuous. How dare you speak to young Master Teng like this? Quickly slap him. Kneel down and kowtow. Otherwise, you are dead. The few young men behind Teng Kuan sneered. Their voices were like thunder that resounded in all directions. The others also glared angrily and emitted cold killing intent. However, without exception, no one made a move. This was because this was the Moonflower Castle, and there were rules here that prohibited fighting. Even Almighties would be killed if they fought, let alone them. No one dared to break this rule. Young fella, I know you have the support of the Moonflower Castle, so you dare to be so unscrupulous. Teng Kuan said coldly, his eyes burning with anger. A layer of terrifying flames appeared on his body. So what? You can't stay here forever. As long as you dare to take a step out of here, I can guarantee that you will end up very miserably. I will torture you for the rest of your life, and you will beg for death. This is the consequence of provoking me. The Teng family's eldest young master and third young master also snorted coldly. The killing intent in their eyes was not concealed at all. After Lin Xian heard this, he sneered in disdain. But you only dare to threaten and don't dare to make a move? Looks like you are really useless. How dare you be arrogant like this? What a joke! Lin Xian sneered in disdain. After hearing this, Teng Kuan snorted coldly. Young fella, don't play tricks. We all know the rules here. I won't give you a chance, and I won't let the Moonflower Castle make a move either. Just wait, the banquet will end soon, and your death will come. Damn it, this guy actually didn't fall for it. Xiao Linger waved her fist angrily, and at the side, Zhao Zhirua also had a solemn expression. Lin Xian sneered. But, do you think I said those words to make you make a move and break the rules? Do you think I dared to come here because of the Moonflower Castle? Of course. If it wasn't for the Moonflower Castle, you would be a dead man by now. Do you think you can still stand? The Teng family's third young master shouted coldly, and the Teng family's eldest young master also snorted coldly. The surrounding young geniuses all sneered. Lin Xian smiled. Looks like young master by Yun's matter didn't teach you a deep enough lesson. Since that's the case, I don't mind making a move and teaching you a lesson. What? He was going to make a move. Everyone in the surroundings was shocked, and young Master Qian Sen also frowned. Yen Ruyu's beautiful eyes flickered, and she looked very expectant. On the other side, Xiao Ling, Zhao Zhirua, and the others were a little worried. Although they knew that Lin Xian had a special relationship with the people of the Moonflower Castle, they were afraid that he couldn't break the rules so obviously. After all, if this rule was broken, the prestige of the Moonflower Castle would also weaken a lot in the future. The Teng family naturally also understood this logic. Therefore, they sneered in disdain. Young fella, you still dare to make a move? Who do you think you are? You think you can break the rules here just because you have a little relationship? They snorted in disdain and didn't believe it at all. The few young men behind Teng Kuan were even more arrogant. They stood out from the crowd, came in front of Lin Xian, and said arrogantly. Chapter 2307. They stood out from the crowd, came in front of Lin Xian, and said arrogantly. Come. I'm standing here. Try touching me. Teng Kuan, young Master Qianshan, and the others had cold gazes. They were also looking forward to it. As long as the other party attacked, they would have an excuse. Even the people from the Moonflower Palace had no choice but to come out and punish Lin Xian. Because this was the rule, a rule that could not be broken. I've seen people run fast when snatching treasures. But this is the first time I've seen people in a hurry to die. Since you guys are in such a hurry to die, I'll fulfill your wish. With that said, Lin Xian waved his palm. Slap, slap, slap. A crisp slap sounded, shaking the void. The tens of millions of cultivators in the distance all heard it. In the next moment, they were shocked. They were in an uproar. Their eyes widened in disbelief. Because in front of them, 3 arrogant youths were slapped and directly slapped to the ground. The ground trembled as if an earthquake had happened. And their faces were completely deformed. Their teeth were broken all over the ground, and blood splattered everywhere. What? He attacked. He really attacked. How dare he? Is he going to break the rules of the Moonflower Palace? Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air as they stared ahead in disbelief. One had to know that in the past, when a peerless mighty figure attacked here, he was mercilessly killed. Although the kid in front of them had some relationship with the Moonflower Palace, in order to maintain their dignity, the Moonflower Palace absolutely did not allow anyone to attack here. In their opinion, this kid was too daring. He's dead meat. The three young geniuses were slapped to the ground, and they were very angry. They roared crazily and struggled. A terrifying light surged from their bodies. They wanted to attack. How could they endure being slapped in public? But in the next moment, Lin Xian's cold voice sounded. Why you dare to attack? Then try it. Buzz. Hearing this, the three geniuses' attacks stopped in midair. The light on their bodies also dimmed. Indeed, they did not dare to attack. Although the other party had broken the rules, it did not mean that they could break the rules. They did not dare to offend the Moonflower Palace. Peng ping peng. Just as the three of them were hesitating, Lin Xian lifted his leg and kicked the three of them. The three of them felt as if they were struck by lightning, as if 3 mountains were pressing down on them. Countless bones in their bodies were broken, and they were sent flying. Everywhere they passed, the void shattered. 3 screams were heard as the 3 of them crashed into Liang Kuan and the others. The 3 of them were caught by countless warriors. However, they discovered that the 3 of them were severely injured. Their eyes were filled with fear. This brat was too arrogant. He actually dared to act so brazenly in the Moonflower Castle. Everyone was discussing animatedly. Zhao Zhihua and the others gasped. Young Master Qian Shan, Teng Kuan, and the others had gloomy looks in their eyes. However, at this moment, Teng Kuan sneered. Originally, I wanted to do it myself. But now, it seems that I don't need to do it. You've broken the rules here, so you'll definitely die. Liang Kuan looked at Lin Xian with a cold gaze that was as sharp as a blade. Too stupid. Young Master Qian Shan shook his head with disdain. The young geniuses behind them sneered. The eldest and third young masters of the Teng family also sneered in disdain. Idiot, let's see how you'll die later. Yen Ruyu's beautiful eyes flickered and were extremely deep. She looked at Lin Xian with an inexplicable aura in her eyes. Is that so? Do you think you can predict everything? Hearing the other party's words, Lin Xian smiled. All right, let's see if I'm the one who will be killed today or you. As he said that, he took a step forward and grabbed at the front again. His palm transformed into a terrifying golden lion that pounced forward. Fearless Lion Seal. Under the effect of Lin Xian's great dragon sword soul, the great ability of the war tribe was displayed to perfection. Light flickered in the sky, and terrifying energy surged. A golden lion descended from the sky like a golden Buddha that could suppress everything. That power made even the mighty figures tremble in fear. You're courting death. Seeing this, Teng Kuan roared angrily, and his eyes were filled with anger. His opponent actually dared to attack him. He really could not tolerate it. In the end, he did not make a move and instantly disappeared on the spot. Boom! The golden lion pounced down with its claw, tearing the void apart and creating a large black crack. Nevertheless, it did not hurt Teng Kuan. However, the terrifying energy shockwave caused many martial artists behind Teng Kuan to vomit blood. Young Master Qian Shan, the eldest and third young masters of the Teng family were also affected. Buzz! They quickly defended, and a bright light screen lit up in front of them, blocking the energy shockwave. What kind of ability is that? It's too terrifying. Sensing the power of the golden lion, everyone's expression changed. Young Master Qian Shan and the eldest young master of the Teng family also had gloomy expressions. They did not expect the other party to be so powerful. In the void, Teng Kuan's figure also appeared. Brat, you've completely angered me. Later, I'll definitely torture you to death. Torture my ass. I've long disliked you. At this moment, the dark red divine dragon also came out of the black earth. It landed beside Lin Xian, waved its dragon claws, pointed at the void above, and said ferociously, "Damn it, come over here if you dare. I'll roast you and eat you." To be honest, he was really angry. The other party is only an ordinary prodigy. How dare he be arrogant in front of me? How dare he threaten to kill me again and again? How could the dark red divine dragon tolerate that? Therefore, at this moment, he naturally had to counterattack. Where did this snake come from? How dare it be so presumptuous here? Teng Kuan's face was gloomy. Being threatened by a snake was like a slap to his face. Therefore, in the next moment, a terrifying pressure rose from his body. Although he could not attack, using his pressure to kill the other party should not be against the rules here. Boom, boom, boom. The invisible pressure enveloped the dark red divine dragon. Even an ordinary mighty figure would not be able to withstand it. However, the dark red divine dragon sneered in disdain. He was a dragon, and the pressure of a dragon was even more terrifying than that of a peerless mighty figure. How dare he compete with me in terms of pressure? What an idiot! Therefore, in the next moment, he snorted coldly, and his body also emitted a terrifying dragon pressure. Boom, boom, boom. The other party's pressure instantly shattered. Not only that, the terrifying dragon pressure directly surged towards Teng Kuan. Teng Kuan left his original spot and appeared in another direction. However, his complexion turned incomparably ugly. How dare you attack me? Teng Kuan gritted his teeth. Since when did a snake dare to be rude to me? The dark red divine dragon snorted coldly. So what if I attack you? I still want to test you. Besides, you're the fucking snake. I'm a dragon. Do you know? Dragon. Hearing this, everyone frowned. They were extremely puzzled because the pressure that the other party emitted earlier was too terrifying. Chapter 2308. However, they did not think that the other party was a real dragon. After all, no one had seen a real dragon. In their opinion, the other party might be a horned dragons that had the bloodline of dragons or some other rare species. But even so, it was still shocking enough. Teng Kuan's face was also gloomy. He sneered. A horned dragon? Alright, I'll roast you and have a taste of what a horned dragon tastes like. What? You want to eat me? The dark red divine dragon was furious. I'll spit all over your face. As it said that, it opened its mouth and spat in front of it. The saliva that filled the sky turned into a Milky Way and swept forward. It was terrifying as it covered the entire sky. Teng Kuan did not have anywhere to flash this time, so he was sprayed all over his face and clothes. The saliva was extremely smelly and had a very strange smell. Teng Kuan's face immediately darkened like the bottom of a pot. Below, Xiaoling and the others laughed because the scene was too comical. Many people in the crowd could not help but laugh. However, soon they could not laugh anymore. This was because Teng Kuan's body was emitting an incomparably terrifying killing intent that pierced through the void like a god of death. Black holes appeared in the sky one after another. It was terrifying as if the world was about to be destroyed. This aura made the scalps of tens of millions of martial artists go numb. Damn reptile, you're courting death. Teng Kuan was furious. What? You're not convinced? You're unhappy? Go ahead. I'll slap you to death with one slap. The dark red divine dragon was very arrogant like an old monster that had no scruples. Lin Xian also sneered. Great, there are some things that I can't say, so I can let the dark red divine dragon do it. This time, I'll probably be angered to death. Look at how skinny you are. You probably won't have much meat even if I beat you up. How about this, you'll be my pet? The dark red divine dragon waved its dragon claws. Be my human pet and serve me well. If you serve me well, I can teach you one or two great abilities of dragons. Hearing this, Teng Kuan was so angry that he vomited blood. Not only him, but the eldest and third young masters of the Ting family were also furious. The third young master was relatively young, only 18 or 19 years old. He was young and full of vigor, so how could he endure such humiliation? Therefore, in the next moment, he roared, "Damn it, I'll definitely kill you." He really couldn't hold it in anymore. The energy in his body suddenly erupted like a volcano, sweeping out in all directions. The entire sky was like a piece of cloth, rustling as cracks appeared in countless places. As soon as this terrifying aura appeared, everyone's expression changed. That was because this power had actually reached the almighty realm. This was simply too shocking. It was worth noting that the Teng family's third young master was only 18 or 19 years old. Despite being so young, he could unleash the power of an almighty being. It was indeed shocking. He could be said to be a young genius. Not good. However, the expressions of Teng Kuan, young master Qian Shan, and the others changed. Although the Teng family's third young master was formidable, he might not be able to resist his opponent. They wanted to save him. However, in the next moment, they were stunned. Another resplendent slap rang out between the heavens and the earth. Then, a figure was sent flying, smashing through the void. At this moment, everyone was drooling. This was because the domineering and peerless God-favored third young master of the Teng family was sent flying backward, and his teeth were broken all over the ground. His entire face was deformed. His body floated into the distance like a kite with a broken string. On the other hand, Lin Xian slowly put down his hand with a hint of disdain in his eyes. Shocked, extremely shocked. At this moment, the tens of millions of martial artists seemed to have been petrified. They realized that Lin Xian was too valiant. His speed and power were so fast that they could not capture him at all. Even many of the older generation figures were extremely shocked. On the other hand, the Teng family's eldest young master and Teng Kuan roared angrily. Their bodies swayed, and they instantly appeared in the distance. They helped the third young master up. Third young master's entire face was deformed, and his teeth were all broken. Blood dyed his clothes red. Ah! The third young master roared angrily, and his body emitted a dazzling light. Next, his deformed face returned to normal, and the teeth that had fallen out grew out again. "I'll kill you! I'll definitely kill you!" The third young master roared crazily like a wild beast. He had never suffered such a loss before. He was sent flying with a single slap in front of so many people. If he did not take revenge, how could he live in the future? Third younger brother. Don't be impulsive. The Teng family's eldest young master held the third young master down. It was very disadvantageous for them to make a move in this situation. They had to endure it. Everything would be easy once they left the Moonflower Castle. Big brother, second brother, don't worry about me. I'll definitely kill him. At this moment, the Teng family's third young master had a crazed look on his face. His eyes were red, and boundless flames appeared on his body, burning fiercely. At this moment, he was like a wild dog. "Brat, you forced me to do this. Today, I'll definitely kill you." The Teng family's third young master quickly formed a seal with his hands. Dense blood-red veined patterns appeared on his body, and a violent power instantly surged out. As soon as this power was released, the surrounding space instantly shattered. It could not withstand it at all. So powerful! His strength had doubled. This must be the Teng family's secret technique. Everyone was shocked. This secret technique is too powerful. Sure enough, under this energy shock wave, everyone's faces turned pale, and they frantically retreated. In fact, there was even a vacuum in the field. In the field, Lin Xian and the others were the only ones who stood calmly. Lin Xian and Murong Qingqing were peerless God-favored ones, so they were not afraid of the terrifying energy shock wave at all. Their bodies emitted a misty light screen, which blocked all the shock waves. "Brat, I'll kill you!" The Teng family's third young master roared furiously. He stomped his foot and broke the void as he charged over. He was as fast as lightning. He even pulled out a blood-red longsword. As soon as the sword was drawn, a sea of blood spread in the surroundings. Countless vengeful spirits appeared in the space as if they had turned into hell. The evil blood sword. This was a top-notch treasure sword. It was the Teng family's famous treasure sword. They did not expect it to be in the hands of the Teng family's third young master. Many people exclaimed. It was obvious that they had also heard of this sword's reputation. When the long sword was swung, a blood-red sword chi appeared in the sky and slashed downward. In an instant, it enveloped Lin Xian. Buzz. Upon seeing this, Lin Xian scoffed. He swayed his feet and disappeared on the spot. Whoosh. He appeared in the void above the Teng family's third young master. What? So fast? The Teng family's third young master's scalp went numb. He did not expect his opponent to be faster than before. He could not believe it. After all, now that he had used a secret technique, his strength had doubled, and his speed had doubled as well. Even so, he could not keep up with his opponent's speed. Chapter 2309. Soon he screamed in agony. This was because a foot had stepped on his back. The force directly broke his entire back. Countless muscles collapsed, and his bones were broken. Blood spurted out, and a huge force hit his body. Damn it! Block it! After the Teng family's third young master was enraged, a set of fiery red armor instantly appeared on his body. At the same time, countless red flames burned on the armor and turned into fire dragons that wrapped around Lin Xian, trying to burn him. Boom! However, everything was useless. The Teng family's third young master screamed in agony. The armor on his body shattered, and the sea of fire in the sky disappeared. Under this foot, he was like an ant without any ability to resist. Boom! He landed on the ground, and there was a shocking vibration. Countless runes lit up on the ground, forming a terrifying defensive formation. Otherwise, this attack could definitely penetrate the ground and create a 10,000-meter deep abyss. The Teng family's third young master screamed crazily. The foot was still on his body, making him unable to move at all. His 5 viscera and 6 bowels were all impacted. Seeing this, everyone was shocked and dumbstruck. The Teng family's eldest young master and Teng Kuan roared, "Damn it, let go of my third younger brother." They were both shocked and furious. They did not expect the other party to be so powerful that he could instantly injure their third younger brother. The other party actually dared to be so heavy-handed. This was unbearable for them. You want to save him? Sure, kneel down and kowtow to me 10 times, and I'll spare his life. You're courting death. The eldest young master and Teng Kuan's faces darkened. Lin Xian scoffed coldly. You only have one chance. Since you missed it, don't blame me. As he spoke, he exerted force with his foot, and an unparalleled force surged out, instantly crushing the Teng family's third young master's body. Boom! Countless blood mists filled the air and sprayed in all directions. The ground was instantly dyed red, and all the King Almighties in the surroundings were stunned. They could not believe it. What did this fella do? He actually killed the Teng family's third young master. Oh God, is he not afraid of the Teng family's revenge? Everyone went crazy. Because this scene was too shocking, they didn't dare to believe it. One had to know that fighting was not allowed in the Moonflower Palace. Lin Xian actually dared to fight here without any scruples. More importantly, he killed the Teng family's third young master. The Teng family was an invincible king clan. It was extremely terrifying. The third young master of the Teng clan had a noble status, and almost no one dared to provoke them. In the past, a few top-notch mighty figures had set their eyes on the Teng family's third young master's treasure and wanted to secretly snatch it, but they were directly killed by the Teng family's peerless powerhouses. Not only that, but they also directly destroyed the sects of these 3 top almighties, causing a huge commotion. At that time, this matter caused a stir in the 9 Li dynasty. Everyone knew about it. Therefore, from then on, almost nobody dared to offend the Teng family. Now, someone actually killed someone from the Teng family. He even killed the Teng family's third young master. Wasn't this poking a hole in the sky? They dared not imagine how the Teng family would react once they found out about this. Most importantly, the other 2 young masters of the Teng family were also present. Damn brat, I'm going to kill you. The Teng family's eldest young master and Teng Kuan were furious. They roared crazily. Young Master Qianshan and the others were also stunned. They did not expect that the other party would really dare to make a move. Boom! The Teng family's eldest young master roared, and his body emitted a terrifying light. His eyes pierced through the void and fixed on Lin Xian. In the next moment, a blue long saber appeared in his hand, and he slashed down. Boom! On the other side, multicolored light filled the sky, and Teng Kuan's black hair danced wildly like a demon god. A black long spear appeared in his hand, and he directly stabbed forward. The sky instantly shattered. The two young geniuses of the Teng family finally could not hold it in anymore. They finally made a move. Boom boom boom. The void was instantly shattered, and terrifying energy instantly engulfed Lin Xian. The tens of millions of martial artists in the surroundings retreated frantically. They did not dare to imagine that someone would dare to ignore the rules of the Moonflower Castle and make a move here. Moreover, what shocked them even more was that the Moonflower Castle did not stop them this time. What are they trying to do? Could it be because of Lin Xian? These people did not know that their attention had long been attracted by the battle in front of them. Looking at the two terrifying attacks, the faces of Xiao Linger, Zhao Zhirua, and the others changed. Lin Xian, on the other hand, sneered. Buzz. He directly pulled out the ancient dragon abyss sword and slashed forward. Boom. In the sky, a sword light directly slashed out. Clang. In the next moment, the green long saber was broken into two. Not only that, but the eldest young master of the Teng family also vomited blood and retreated with a face full of shock. Buzz. The ancient dragon abyss sword was swung again and collided with the black long spear. The sound of metal colliding was like thunder that spread in all directions. Everyone's scalp went numb. Teng Kuan's pupils suddenly shrank. He felt a huge force coming from the long spear. It shook his arm until it went numb, and the qi and blood in his body surged. Damn it! How can the opponent be so strong? He roared and wanted to counterattack again. However, something happened that shocked him. His black long spear, a top-grade treasure weapon, was instantly broken into two. Boom! The terrifying force blasted on his body, and he kept vomiting blood. What? Everyone was stunned. In an instant, two top-grade treasures were broken, and two young geniuses were injured. Oh God, what kind of strength is this? They could not believe it. At this moment, everyone looked at Lin Xian and felt their scalps go numb. Even young Master Qianshan's face became gloomy. Yen Ruyu's lips curled into a beautiful smile that was full of mystery. Damn brat, you're going too far. The eldest young master of the Teng family and Teng Kuan roared crazily. They stopped in their tracks, looking extremely disheveled. Nevertheless, they looked at each other and attacked again. This time, they took out two high-grade treasures. Not only that, but they also unleashed the power in their bodies to the extreme. Their bodies emitted a biting cold light like a sun. Boom! The eldest young master of the Teng family had a huge golden cauldron above his head. Thousands of golden auras hung down and imprisoned the entire sky. The golden cauldron was like an immemorial divine mountain that pressed down fiercely. The void shattered in an instant, and terrifying cracks spread toward Lin Xian. On the other side, Teng Kuan pulled out a long sword. The sword qi danced and formed divine rings that shone in the air. Chapter 23:10. When he swung his sword, heaven and earth trembled. Everyone in the main hall was terrified. They realized that their bodies were stiff, and the blood and power in their bodies seemed to be frozen. Moreover, the dazzling sword light in the sky made their bodies hurt as if they were being split apart. Boom! The ancient sword swept out and split the golden cauldron in half. The green longsword was also broken into pieces. The Teng family's eldest young master and Teng Kuan vomited blood and were sent flying again. However, this time, Lin Xian did not let them go. He swayed his body and arrived in front of them in an instant like a fiend god. At the same time, he slapped with his palm. With a crack, the Teng family's eldest young master was enveloped by the palm. Ah! The Teng family's eldest young master roared crazily, and a terrifying light surged from his body. A golden armor appeared. On top of that, a pagoda rushed out from his body and protected him. Boom! Even so, it did not seem to be of much use. The pagoda's illusory image was smashed into pieces, and the armor on his body was also broken. Nevertheless, he took this opportunity to move his body horizontally. The terrifying palm wind swept across half of his body, causing his arm to be directly broken. Boom! The Teng family's eldest young master crashed into a pillar in the distance, causing the void to shake. Then, he fell to the ground and vomited blood. On the other side, Lin Xian swept out his right leg like a coiling dragon and aimed for Teng Kuan. Damn it, get lost. Teng Kuan threw away the broken sword in his hand and shouted as he punched with both fists. His terrifying fists were like mountains as they emitted a dazzling light. Boom. Next, he collided with the coiling dragon leg. With a bang, heaven and earth trembled. Teng Kuan screamed in pain as his arms were broken and he was sent flying. In an instant, the two of them were severely injured. They trembled, and their hair was disheveled. Everyone around them was stunned. None of the tens of millions of martial artists said a word. The scene was silent. Even the young masters and peerless geniuses from the major clans gasped. Is he really just a young man? Why do I feel that the gap between us is so huge? We, the geniuses, are like ants in his hands that can be easily crushed. I'm afraid that even the princes and saints of the sacred grounds can't do this. What, do you still want revenge? Lin Xian looked into the distance with a hint of disdain. The Teng family's eldest young master and Teng Kuan were so angry that they vomited blood. They were about to explode. But this time, they didn't dare to make a move. The other party was too strange. His strength far surpassed theirs, especially the treasured sword in his hand, which was incomparably sharp. Even a top-grade treasure artifact could be split apart. They truly did not have the confidence to continue fighting with him. He was terrified. The young master of the Teng family was terrified. No one dared to believe it. If they had not seen it with their own eyes, they would not have believed it even if they were beaten to death. What a piece of trash. Seeing that the two of them did not dare to fight, Lin Xian snorted in disdain. Then he looked around. Soon he spotted young Master Qian Shan and the others. There were about a dozen of them, all of whom were young geniuses. They were all in cahoots with the Teng family. Previously, when Lin Xian had come over, these people had mocked him and even threatened him. Now it was time to return the favor. Lin Xian stared at the three young men. The three of you were very arrogant before. Didn't you say that you wanted me to kneel and accept my death? Now, say that again? Lin Xian looked ahead. The three young men trembled, and deep fear appeared in their eyes. What's wrong? You don't dare to say it now? A bunch of good-for-nothings. Lin Xian snorted in disdain. But do you think I'll let you go just because you don't dare to say it? Now do as you said. Kneel down and apologize to me, and I'll let you go. Otherwise, you'll end up like those good-for-nothings from the Teng family. Lin Xian's cold voice spread in all directions. Everyone's scalps went numb when they heard it. In the distance, the Teng family's eldest young master and Teng Kuan, who were struggling to stand up, spat out large mouthfuls of blood. They were so angry that they almost fainted. The three young men who were being stared at turned pale. They regretted it very much. Why did they have to speak so arrogantly and stand up for themselves? Now that they were targeted by this devil, even if they did not die, they would lose a layer of skin. However, it was impossible for them to kneel in public. They could not afford to lose face, and neither could their clans. Among them, one of the young men gritted his teeth and roared, "Damn brat, don't be too arrogant. You're strong, but don't forget that we're all young masters from big clans. Do you think you can fight against our clans?" That's right. The young man next to him also roared, "If you know what's good for you, leave quickly. Otherwise, you'll be dead when our clans arrive. Using our clans to threaten me? Do you think I'll be afraid?" Lin Xian sneered in disdain. Then, his body swayed, and he instantly arrived in front of the three young men. He raised his palm, which turned into the hand of a green dragon, and slapped down fiercely. Bang, bang, bang. The palm evolved in the sky and instantly enveloped the three young men. In an instant, a terrifying force slapped the three young men's faces, and they fell to the ground. Bang! A light flashed, and a terrifying airflow swept in all directions, causing the surrounding martial artists to retreat frantically. On the other hand, the three young men fell to the ground and kept twitching. I'm going to kill you." The first young man stood up from the back, and a bright light erupted from his body. "Damn it! You've gone too far." The second young man also had a ferocious face. His eyes were bloodshot like a wild beast, and his body emitted a terrifying killing intent. Everyone, join forces and kill him. I don't believe that he can fight against all of us alone. The third young man roared angrily. He wanted to call for everyone to attack together and kill the powerful enemy in front of him. Alright, let's see who dares to attack. Lin Xian sneered. He took a step forward, and a terrifying aura surged from his body. Countless sword chi surrounded him, making him look like a god of death. However, there were still people who could not help but want to attack. In particular, the eldest young master of the Teng family and Teng Kuan at the back were secretly surging, ready to attack at any time. A chaotic battle was about to break out. However, at this moment, young Master Qianshan shouted coldly, "Stop! Everyone, stop!" Seeing young Master Qianshan appear, those people stopped and looked over. Young Master Qianshan said, "Everyone, please don't be impulsive. The rules of the Moonflower Castle are not so easy to break. Besides, there's no need for us to take this risk and show off for a while. Once we leave this place, everything will be different." There was a hint of reminder in his words. Therefore, after the surrounding geniuses heard this, they nodded slightly. Indeed, the devil in front of them was very terrifying. If they made a move, they might be killed. After all, the Teng family's third young master was killed by the other party, and the other party had no scruples. If they were killed, they would probably die in vain. If they left this place, they could gather the powerhouses of their clans. If it really did not work, they could also make a move without restraint. Chapter 23:11. Therefore, these people did not take action. Lin Xian frowned and looked at young Master Qianshan. This guy is quite sinister. He wants to unite all the clans and attack me after the banquet? If that's the case, there's nothing more to say. However, before Teng Qingshan made a move, young Master Qianshan spoke again. This time, he looked at Teng Qingshan. "Kid, let me give you a piece of advice. Don't be too arrogant. Don't think that you can do whatever you want just because you have the illusionary Flower Palace's support. Every single person here was a young master of a large family, a young genius. You can't afford to offend them, especially the three geniuses of the Teng clan. How dare you kill one of them? Do you know that you have committed a heinous crime? A heinous crime? Is that so?" Lin Xian sneered. "So what? Are you going to punish me?" Lin Xian looked at young Master Qianshan. His eyes were like two divine swords that could pierce through everything. Young Master Qianshan felt a great pressure when he felt Teng Qingshan's gaze. It was as if his body was going to be penetrated. He snorted and a terrifying power rose in his body to resist the gaze. He could not be afraid in front of so many people, let alone lose face. Of course, he could not attack Teng Qingshan. Therefore, he said loudly in the next moment, "I must punish you, but I don't have to do it. Teng Jia's experts will take you away after you leave the illusionary Flower Palace." "Is that so? After talking for so long, you still don't dare to attack? You're just a piece of trash. What's the difference between you and them?" "Oh, right, you're a more sinister piece of trash." Lin Xian sneered and said provocatively, "Since you don't dare to attack, then get lost. Don't block my way." "What?" Everyone went crazy, not daring to believe their own ears. What did they see? What did they hear? The young man in front of them was scolding young Master Qianshan and asking him to get lost. Heavens, they were not dreaming, were they? For a moment, everyone went crazy. Young Master Qianshan's face darkened and a cold light appeared in his eyes. Teng Qingshan dared to scold him and ask him to get lost. This filled his heart with killing intent. If it wasn't for the rules of the Moonflower Castle, he dared to guarantee that the other party would already be a dead man. What kind of look is that? How dare you release your killing intent towards me? Lin Xian snorted coldly. His figure flickered and appeared in front of them in an instant. The azure dragon palm in his hand smashed down once more. This palm strike was too fast and too sudden. Everyone was stunned. They had never imagined that Lin Xian would dare to make a move on young Master Qianshan. This was Qianshan City. Young Master Qianshan was even more shocked. There was actually someone who dared to attack him in Qianshan City? Wasn't this purely courting death? Therefore, for a moment he was also stunned. Boom! The azure dragon hand shone like the sun and the moon. It crushed the void and enveloped young Master Qian-san. Sensing this terrifying aura, young Master Qianshan finally regained his senses. In the next moment he retreated rapidly. At the same time, countless rays of light rushed out of his body in an attempt to resist. However, he was only resisting in a hurry, while Lin Xian was prepared. This azure dragon palm contained the power of the great dragon sword soul, which was extremely terrifying. In a hurry, young Master Qianshan could not block it at all. Therefore, in the next moment, the light curtain that he held up shattered, and the azure dragon palm slapped his face. Smith. The crisp sound of a slap was heard. Blood splattered in the air, and young Master Qianshan's body kept flying backward. Everyone was stunned. The gazes of tens of millions of martial artists followed young Master Qianshan's body into the distance. Then, with a bang, young Master Qianshan fell to the ground. Damn kid! Young Master Qianshan stood up and roared crazily. His body was filled with a terrifying aura like tens of thousands of sword lights that pierced through the 9 heavens and 10 lands. His cold eyes were filled with biting cold killing intent. His eyes were red, and the temperature of the entire space instantly dropped as if they had returned to the world of ice. He was crazy, he was really crazy. He did not expect that someone would dare to attack him. Moreover, it was to slap his face. Was he courting death? He was young Master Qianshan, and this was Qianshan City. As long as he gave the order, countless experts would rush over. Who dared to be rude to him? In Qianshan City, he was the king. No matter how strong the enemy was, they had to lie down. But now, the young man in front of him was so arrogant. Not only did he confront him in public, but he even slapped him in the face. He could not stand it. However, Lin Xian did not seem to want to let him go. After the successful attack, his body swayed, and he appeared in front of young Master Qianshan again. The azure dragon palm in his hand slapped down mercilessly. The azure dragon palm shone with divine light like a dragon's head, and it let out a piercing roar. It shattered the entire void. The blood of tens of millions of martial artists boiled, and some of them could not help but want to kneel down. There was nothing he could do about it. This palm strike was simply too terrifying. Damn it! Young Master Qianshan's pupils constricted. He did not expect that Su Mo would dare to attack again. Moreover, Su Mo's speed was far beyond his imagination. He roared and resisted with all his strength because he could not afford to be slapped in the face again. Otherwise, he would not be able to establish himself in Qianshan City in the future. Buzz. Young Master Qianshan opened his mouth and spat out a round bead. It instantly enlarged in the air like a mountain, blocking in front of him to block Su Mo's attack. Boom! The azure dragon palm slapped the red bead, and a dazzling light burst out. Terrifying energy swept in all directions. The King Almighties in the surroundings screamed. Many of them vomited blood and were sent flying. Their faces were pale. That attack was too terrifying. It was far beyond everyone's imagination. Crack, crack, crack. However, to everyone's horror, the red bead in front of them was covered with countless cracks. Then, it collapsed and turned into pieces. The azure dragon hand, carrying boundless sword Qi, fiercely slapped down. Smith. The palm slapped young Master Qianshan's face again, causing his face to be completely deformed. Young Master Qianshan's teeth were broken, and he was sent flying while vomiting blood. This time, he crashed into a pillar on the left, causing heaven and earth to shake. The terrifying void was shattered. Damn brat! I'm going to kill you. I'll definitely kill you. Young Master Qianshan roared crazily. Endless light burst out from his body, causing his deformed face to return to its original state. His teeth also grew out. At his level, as long as his soul was not destroyed or his body was seriously injured, he could recover. However, even though his body had recovered, he still couldn't accept being slapped in the face in front of everyone. Not only did Su Mo slap his face, but he did it twice. Chapter 23:12. Not only did the other party hit his face, but he did it twice. This made him so angry that he wanted to vomit blood. He swore that he would kill the other party to relieve the hatred in his heart. Today, I will completely offend the Moonflower Palace. I will cut you down with my blade. Young Master Qianshan was really angry. He didn't hesitate to break the rules and attack. If the Moonflower Palace wanted to blame him, he would use the power of the City Lord Mansion to fight against them. If he couldn't win, then he would fight to the death. But today he had to take revenge. In the field, the ones who were still calm were Yen Ryu and Murong Qingqing. These two stunning beauties had faint smiles on their faces. They were very calm. Zhao Zhuo and Xiao Ling are at the side opened their eyes wide and their cherry lips were really big. They were really stunned. Xiao Kuang's face was also full of shock. To be honest, he usually thought that he was very arrogant and didn't put anyone in his eyes. But now, he found that compared to Lin Xian, his arrogance was too gentle. At least, he didn't dare to break the rules of the Moonflower Palace, and he didn't dare to become enemies with so many young geniuses of the big clans. Among them, there were top geniuses like young Master Qiansan from the Ting family. Looking at Lin Xian's appearance, was he going to become enemies with the entire Qianshan domain? While everyone was still in shock, Lin Xian made his move again. The Azure Dragon Palm kept attacking, turning into countless palm shadows in the sky, completely covering young Master Qiansan. At the same time, he sneered and said, "Stop talking nonsense. If you want to fight, then fight. If you don't want to fight, then get out of my way." The cold voice sounded, making everyone's scalp tingle. Arrogant, he was really too arrogant. They had never seen such an arrogant person. This was defying the heavens. Ah! Young Master Qianshan roared at the sky, his black hair fluttering. At the same time, he waved his fist, forming a terrifying fist shadow. It collided with the Azure Dragon Palm that filled the sky. In an instant, the void shattered and countless cracks appeared. Violent energy swept in all directions. Thunder Snake Blade. On young Master Qianshan's body, terrifying thunder armor formed. Otherwise, it would form a terrifying domain around him. A snake-shaped blade appeared in the void, and he grabbed it. Crack! Thunder and lightning exploded all over the sky, covering the entire sky. Boom! As the saber slashed down, 10,000 lightning bolts descended. The violent power made everyone hold their breaths. This was young Master Qiansan, who was very powerful. Even though the other party was young, he had already attained the strength of a top mighty being. It could be said that many of the older generation felt ashamed of their inferiority. Sure enough, when this saber slashed down, many martial artists were directly blasted to the ground by the shocking thunder, their bodies twitching. Humph! You want to fight me with just you alone? He really overestimated himself. Lin Xian coldly snorted, waving the ancient dragon source sword to attack again. The huge sword Qi turned into a true dragon in the sky and slashed down. It directly tore apart the sea of thunder that filled the sky. Clang! The thunder snake saber and the ancient dragon abyss sword clashed together, emitting the sound of metal colliding. However, in an instant, the thunder snake saber trembled and shattered. What? How could this be? Young Master Qianshan was so shocked that he couldn't believe it. His thunder snake blade was extremely terrifying, but at this moment, it had actually shattered. How was this possible? What kind of sword was that in his hand? Damn it! He roared again, and the endless sea of thunder rolled, once again forming a terrifying thunder snake saber. However, it was useless. Lin Xian used the Wanton Sky Destroyer sword, and the terrifying sword Qi ruthlessly descended. In the sky, countless sword Qi descended, directly tearing apart the sea of thunder and extinguishing all the aura. The thunder snake wild saber instantly collapsed. Young Master Qianshan's king's domain was also suppressed, and countless cracks appeared. In fact, even the thunder battle armor on his body was rapidly dispelled. In an instant, countless sword wounds appeared on his body, and blood dyed his body red. Damn it! How could this be? I don't believe it! Young Master Qianshan roared crazily, his eyes filled with shock. He was a young genius. At such a young age, he already had the combat strength of a top mighty being. Other than those princes and saints, no one could suppress him. But now, he was actually beaten to the point that he could not fight back, and he was even injured. This was unacceptable to him. However, in the next moment, he roared crazily, "Damn kid, this is between you and me. I'll definitely kill you." As he spoke, the aura on his body also changed. It was no longer a sea of thunder that filled the sky, but yin and yang qi. One black and one white qi surrounded his body. One of his eyes turned black while the other turned white. It was an extremely strange sight. A terrifying and mysterious power appeared on his body. In an instant, it enveloped the entire space. Seeing this scene, Lin Xian frowned. What kind of cultivation technique is this? It's so strange. The people around him screamed. The yin-yang technique was the cultivation technique of the yin-yang sect. That's right. Young Master Qianshan was not only the young master of the city lord's mansion, but he was also a prodigy of the yin-yang sect. The yin-yang sect was an unparalleled sect. It was extremely terrifying. The yin-yang qi cultivated in the sect had a mysterious connection with heaven and earth. It could be said to be incomparably terrifying. It seemed that young Master Qianshan was really angry. Otherwise, he would not have used the yin-yang qi. It's over. That kid is dead meat. No one can withstand the yin-yang technique. The yin-yang sect? Lin Xian narrowed his eyes when he heard that. Naturally, he knew that in the middle ground, other than the 9 imperial dynasties, there were also unparalleled sections. The yin-yang sect was one of them. Its strength and status were equivalent to the sacred grounds of the eastern wilderness. Moreover, he knew that the yin-yang sect was not an ordinary unparalleled sect. It was an extremely terrifying one. That was because the yin-yang qi was the origin energy of heaven and earth. One could imagine how confident and terrifying the yin-yang sect was to cultivate that cultivation technique. However, Lin Xian was not afraid. In fact, he was looking forward to it. That was because he had never fought with anyone from the yin-yang sect. Let me see what's so special about the legendary yin-yang sect. Lin Xian snorted coldly and attacked again. You'll see. Not only that, but you'll also kneel at my feet. I'll make you beg for death. Young Master Qianshan roared angrily, and the yin-yang qi on his body became even more terrifying. At that moment, he looked extremely strange. Half of his body was extremely pale, while the other half was as black as ink. The yin-yang saber. With a furious roar, the black and white qi on young Master Qianshan's body surged out and formed 2 long sabers in front of him. One was as white as snow, while the other was as black as ink. They were the yin saber and the yang saber. With the yin-yang saber in his hand, young Master Qianshan turned into a terrifying bolt of lightning and charged forward. That was the yin-yang sect's grand Fierji. It was extremely terrifying. The yin-yang qi surged toward him, and the terrifying saber light cut through the entire space. At that moment, young Master Qianshan was like the god of death from hell. He was unstoppable. Be careful, kid. The dark red divine dragon reminded him. Lin Xian nodded slightly and narrowed his eyes. He was not in a hurry to attack. Instead, he sensed the sharp saber light in front of him. Chapter 23:13. The white saber should be the yang saber, which could absorb the vitality in his body. The black saber should be the yin saber, which could increase the death aura in his body. One could deprive vitality, and the other could increase the death aura. When used together, they could kill the enemy quickly. As expected of a peerless sect, their divine powers were indeed magical. Lin Xian's eyes lit up, but he was not afraid. In the next moment, he swung the ancient dragon abyss sword again, and the chaotic heaven destroyer sword flew out quickly. In the sky, the chaotic sword aura and the terrifying yin-yang saber collided, making an earth-shattering sound. The entire space was filled with incomparable light. Stop struggling. It's useless. You can't withstand my yin-yang saber. Young Master Qiansan sneered and charged at him like a demon. Is that so? Not necessarily. Lin Xian sneered and swung the ancient dragon abyss sword. The divine powers of the yin-yang sect were indeed powerful. If his opponent was a peerless mighty figure, Lin Xian would have to put in a lot of effort. However, his opponent was just an ordinary mighty figure. In that case, he could not pose a threat to him at all. As expected, when the ancient dragon abyss sword slashed down, the pair of yin-yang sabers in front of him instantly collapsed. They turned into countless yin-yang qi and scattered around. What? How was that possible? Young Master Qiansan was in disbelief. That was his most powerful divine powers, the terrifying divine powers of the yin-yang sect. His opponent destroyed it with a single slash. He was going crazy. Damn it. Go to hell. Yin-yang life and death curse. Young Master Qianshan shouted angrily and formed a seal with his hands. Buzz. The black and white aura on his body spun quickly, forming runes that flickered in the air. That was also a terrifying divine powers of the yin-yang sect. Once touched, all vitality would be destroyed immediately. There was no way to escape. It was extremely terrifying. Buzz. In the face of the powerful divine powers, Lin Xian did not do anything else. He continued to fight with his sword. The chaotic heaven destroyer's sword flew out quickly. Demon seal. Terrifying sword aura surrounded it as if it could seal everything. It collided with the life and death runes that filled the sky. Suddenly, the sky was filled with light. The runes danced like waves. The tens of millions of martial artists in the surroundings exclaimed. Both of them were peerless geniuses. They were using divine powers. Unfortunately, in terms of combat strength, young Master Qiansan was too weak. Therefore, in an instant, the yin-yang life and death curse shattered. Is this the power of the yin-yang sect? That was all there was to it. Lin Xian sneered, not wanting to waste any more time with the other party. Battle song. A terrifying sword chi slashed forward. In an instant, young Master Qiansan was enveloped. After young Master Qianshan was enraged, the yin and yang qi on his body vibrated rapidly, forming a yin-yang diagram to protect him. Boom, boom. An intense collision sounded as the yin-yang diagram resisted the terrifying sword qi. But soon, countless cracks appeared on the yin-yang image before it split apart again. Young Master Qianshan spat out blood and was sent flying. Damn it, impossible. This was impossible. Qianshan didn't believe it at all. He was using the great divine abilities of the yin-yang sect. They were absolutely terrifying. However, he was unable to block his opponent's attack. This made him feel a sense of despair. Who was the other party? Could it be that he was really the holy son of some sect? Otherwise, it would not be so terrifying. The surrounding crowd was stunned. What? Even young Master Qianshan was defeated? Firmament? In that case, who else would be able to stop him? They dared not imagine. Lin Xian held the ancient sword and walked forward. Young Master Qianshan's eyelids twitched when he saw this. At this moment, two middle-aged men rushed out from the crowd. Kid, go to hell. These two were the elites of the city governor's mansion who were responsible for the safety of young Master Qianshan. Usually, they would not come out, but now that young Master Qianshan was threatened, they could not help but take action. The middle-aged man in a yellow robe on the left waved his hand, and a sharp light flashed. It was a flying sword. It was only the size of a palm, but it was extremely sharp. Wherever it passed, the void would shatter quickly. Nothing could stop it. It was a terrifying treasure. Lin Xian's body swayed and instantly disappeared on the spot. The flying sword only hit his afterimage. However, the flying sword was very intelligent. After missing its target, it drew an arc in the air and attacked Lin Xian again. It was useless. It was the spirit-guiding sword. It would not stop until one of them died. Go to hell, Brett. The middle-aged man in a yellow robe sneered. Fight to the death? You think too highly of yourself. Lin Xian snorted. Looking at the flying sword again, he did not dodge and directly swung his sword. Clang. An earth-shattering sound was heard as the ancient dragon abyss sword struck the flying sword. Instantly, countless cracks appeared on the flying sword. Then, it collapsed and turned into countless fragments. What? How could this be? The middle-aged man's expression changed drastically. Bang. In the next moment, he was sent flying by the azure dragon palm. He spat out blood and crashed into the distance. Damn it. The other middle-aged man in a red robe also roared. He held the Fangtian halberd in his hand and looked very heroic. When the attack landed, it was as if dark clouds were pressing down on the 9 heavens. The terrifying power sent chills down everyone's spines. Buzz. Lin Xian stretched out his palm. Black flames burned fiercely, forming a black flame palm that directly grabbed the Fangtian halberd. Then he shook it forcefully. Boom. The middle-aged man in a red robe was sent flying. His arms were directly broken. Horror, infinite horror. The young man in front of them was too powerful. They could not contend with him at all. In front of them, Lin Xian held the Fangtian halberd and swung it forcefully. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The Fangtian halberd dodged and flew directly toward young Master Qiansan. The two middle-aged men screamed. Young Master Qiansan was also terrified. He gritted his teeth and once again condensed the yin-yang qi in his body to form a yin-yang bell that enveloped him. Clang. The yin-yang bell shattered, but it blocked the Fangtian halberd. However, the powerful impact still landed on his body. More than half of the bones in his body were broken. His entire body was sent flying again. For a moment, the scene was incomparably silent. The eldest young master of the Ting family, the second young master, and young Master Qianshan were all seriously injured. The other young geniuses. They were also affected. However, Lin Xian did not stop. He turned his head again and stared at the group of people who had gone against him previously. Get over here and die. Those who were stared at by Lin Xian trembled. A few of them looked uglier than crying, while the others gritted their teeth and roared. Damn it, I'm from the Wang family. I'm from the 6th king's residence. If you dare to touch me, you're dead meat. Angry roars were heard one after another. Lin Xian sneered disdainfully when he heard that. He slapped them. Those young men in white spat out large mouthfuls of blood. Their bodies were badly mutilated. So what if you're from the 6th king's residence? Even if the 6th king comes in person, I'll still kill him if he dares to provoke me. Everyone was about to go crazy when they heard that. Who is this person? How dare he look down on the 6th king? Chapter 23:14. Bang, bang, bang. Next, all the young geniuses who went against him were sent flying by Lin Xian. Every one of them was seriously injured. Many of their bones were broken, and their internal organs were also severely injured. The remaining tens of millions of martial artists' minds were blank. They knew that this matter was definitely serious. If news of this spread, it would probably shock the entire Nine Li dynasty. Moreover, it was probably not over yet. These were the young masters of the big clans. Now that they were injured, how could the clans behind them let it go? Sure enough, these people had already begun to secretly contact the forces of their clans. Especially the Teng clan, young Master Qianshan was gnashing his teeth. Young Master Qianshan had already used a secret method to contact the powerhouses of the city lord's mansion and rushed over. The two young masters of the Teng clan also contacted the powerhouses of their clans nearby. As long as the other party left the Moonflower Palace, they promised to kill him in an instant. Seeing that the people who went against him had already been beaten down, Lin Xian snorted coldly and looked around again. Then he stared at Yan Ruyu. Seeing this scene, everyone was shocked. Is this guy going to attack Yan Ruyu? Feeling Lin Xian's gaze, Yan Ruyu's expression did not change at all. Don't you think that we've met before? Lin Xian spoke again. He really wanted to know if the other party was Zhao Shui or not. The corners of the mouths of the surrounding people twitched. Damn, is this guy trying to worm his way into being friends with Yan Ruyu? But this method is too old-fashioned. Sure enough, Yan Ruyu's gaze changed after hearing this. But soon, it calmed down again. It was like a stone that sank into the sea, and only a few ripples were created. But soon, it disappeared. Seeing this scene, Lin Xian frowned. He had a feeling that the other party was Zhao Shui. But why didn't the other party acknowledge him? Could it be that there was a reason? He did not know, but he definitely wanted to find out. Therefore, Lin Xian walked forward. Buzz. However, just as he took 2 steps, 2 figures rushed out beside Yan Ruyu. They were 2 young men. Their appearances were not impressive, and they did not emit any powerful auras. Previously, Lin Xian did not care at all. However, now that they had rushed out, it seemed like they were here to protect Yan Ruyu. Lin Xian did not mind. He used the Azure Dragon Palm and slapped forward. Bang bang. 2 low voices sounded like muffled thunder. However, this time, Lin Xian exclaimed in surprise. This was because the 2 of them were not sent flying like the previous geniuses. Instead, they were fighting against each other. Although the 2 of them were trembling and their expressions changed, they still managed to resist the Azure Dragon Palm. This greatly surprised Lin Xian. It seemed that these 2 people were even more terrifying than the previous Sky Prides. However, these 2 people had concealed themselves too deeply. If he had not asked Yan Ruyu, these 2 people probably would not have stood up. Where did he come from? How could he be so strong? The 2 young men were even more shocked, and fear appeared on their faces. They finally understood why the other party was able to send so many Sky Prides flying. This power was too terrifying. If it were not for their strong physiques, they would have been sent flying long ago. Even so, the qi and blood in their bodies were churning, and their bones were trembling. In the next moment, the 2 of them roared angrily, and an unparalleled domineering aura surged out of their bodies. They finally suppressed the trembling. Buzz. The 2 of them were like an iron wall, blocking Lin Xian's path. Kid, these 2 are not humans. At this moment, the dark red divine dragon said, I can sense a demonic aura from their bodies. Hearing this, Lin Xian narrowed his eyes in surprise. If they're not humans, could they be demons? Thinking of this, a dark golden light appeared in his eyes. Then he looked forward. His pupils constricted because he could see the 2 people in front of him clearly with the heavenly secret god eyes. As expected, they're not humans. They were draped in human skin, and under the human skin, there were many scales. They're demons. One is a demon wolf, and the other is a demon fox. They're not ordinary demon beasts, but demons. The scales on their bodies are too terrifying and abnormally hard. No wonder the 2 of them can resist my Azure Dragon Palm. The physique of a demon is much stronger than that of a human. What's going on? Why are the two demon powerhouses protecting Yenryu? He remembered that the dark red divine dragon said that Yenryu also had a demonic aura. Could it be that Yenryu is also a demon? But why does she look exactly the same as Zhao Shui? Could it be that the previous Zhao Shui was a demon? Lin Xian could not understand. He felt that there was a mystery about the other party that he could not see through at all. Therefore, he wanted to figure it out. In the next moment, he took a step forward, and the aura on his body suddenly erupted. Countless sword chi formed a wave of sword chi in front of him and surged forward. You're courting death. The two demon powerhouses were furious. Their eyes were red, but they did not reveal their true forms. Obviously, they were afraid of something. However, although they did not reveal their true forms, the strength of these two people could not be underestimated. Their strength had reached the level of a top-notch human mighty figure. With a cold shout, the demon wolf youth waved his hand, and a green light flickered, forming a green mountain beside him. On the other side, the fox demon raised his hand and shot out a light screen. It seemed that the two of them did not dare to reveal too much of their abilities as demons. Instead, they imitated the abilities of humans. However, they could not block the sword chi at all. In an instant, the two of them were sent flying. There was no obstruction in front of him again. Lin Xian walked forward. However, at this moment, another four figures quickly rushed out. As soon as the four figures appeared, they instantly charged towards Lin Xian. This shocked everyone. God, this Yenryu's background is indeed terrifying. Just these guards are too terrifying. Each of them was a top-notch mighty figure. Who exactly is this person? How can he bring so many guards with him? One had to know that young Master Qianshan and the young master of the Tung family did not bring so many people. Crack crack crack. Seeing another four people charging over and blocking the path, Lin Xian frowned. He snorted coldly and waved his sleeve. The sea god's ice spread out. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The entire space was frozen. Thick frost appeared on the bodies of the four top-notch mighty figures. They were frozen in midair and turned into four ice sculptures. What? They were frozen. Four top-notch mighty figures were frozen in an instant. These people were about to go crazy. They did not dare to imagine what kind of method this was. The four frozen mighty figures could not resist at all. Not only were their bodies frozen, but the chi, blood, and spiritual power in their bodies were also frozen. Chapter 23:15. Not only were their bodies frozen, but the chi, blood, and spirit power in their bodies were also instantly frozen. Only a pair of terrified eyes could still move. Don't let your subordinates attack anymore. I have no ill intentions. Lin Xian looked at Yen Ryu. However, I feel that you look very similar to an old friend of mine. Is that so? Yen Ryu spoke. Her voice was very pleasant, but there was no emotion in it. The world was so big, and there were as many people as the stars. It was not strange for two people to look similar. Young master, you've got the wrong person. I'm not an old friend. However, I feel that you are. Lin Xian's eyes flickered, and a dark golden light appeared in his eyes again. He wanted to see if there was anything else hidden under this human skin. This time, he heaved a sigh of relief, because he realized that the beauty in front of him was different from the previous guards. Those people were demons in human skin. However, there were scales inside. Yen Ryu was human from the inside out, but there was a demonic aura on her body. This made Lin Xian suspect that perhaps the other party had cultivated some kind of demonic technique to create this demonic aura. She was still human. Therefore, Lin Xian was even more certain that she was Zhao Shui. In front of him, Yen Ryu waved her jade-like hand, and the ice and snow quickly melted. The four powerhouses who were frozen were also rescued. They quickly came to Yen Ryu's side and looked forward with solemn expressions. What a terrifying method! The surrounding martial artists and mighty figures were shocked. Such terrifying ice could instantly freeze a top mighty figure. However, it was so easily resolved by Yen Ryu. It seemed that this Yen Ryu was not only beautiful, but her strength was definitely terrifying. It seemed that she had already surpassed the top mighty figures. Could it be that she had reached the realm of a peerless mighty figure? They gasped. Lin Xian also narrowed his eyes. The other party was very strong, definitely not weaker than him. At this moment, Yen Ryu said softly, "The banquet is almost over. Let's go." With that, she turned around and walked into the distance. The crowd automatically moved aside. Beside her, there were four powerful cultivators protecting her. The two injured demon clan cultivators in the distance also flew over to Yen Ryu's side. Lin Xian didn't make a move. His eyes flickered as he said in a clear voice, "Fairy Yen, I think we will meet again." Since the other party was unwilling to acknowledge him, there was no need for him to lay all his cards on the table. Anyway, he already knew Yen Ryu's name. Moreover, she was so famous. If he wanted to meet her, it would be very easy. Maybe. Yen Ryu didn't turn back. She led the group of people and quickly left. After Yen Ryu and the others left, everyone sighed. After all, she was such a beautiful woman. It was good to be able to take another look at her. Lin Xian returned to Murong Qingqing and the others. Today's harvest was quite bountiful. He saw two old friends. One was Yen Ryu, the other was Luoli. Among them, Luo Li also told him a lot of information about hell and the nest of 10,000 dragons. This was very important to Lin Xian. Since he had already received the news, there was no need to stay here. Therefore, he prepared to leave. Murong Qingqing didn't have any objections. However, Zhao Zhirua was a little worried. She said, "Junior brother Lin, are you sure you want to leave just like that?" Right now, the outside was probably already filled with experts from the City Lord Mansion. If he went out now, he would probably be walking into a trap. Then what should he do? He couldn't stay here forever, right? Lin Xian smiled. "That's not my personality." As he spoke, he pulled Murong Qingqing and took the lead to leave. On the side, Xiao Kuang, Ling, and the others also left. Zhao Zhirua sighed and shook her head helplessly. At the critical moment, at most, he would take out Murong Qingqing's identity as the Saintess. He believed that these people from the City Lord Mansion wouldn't dare to mess around. Was this kid going to leave? When the surrounding tens of millions of cultivators saw Lin Xian and the others walking out, their hearts immediately rose. Going out at this time was really courting death. Sure enough, young Master Qianshan, Teng Kuan, and the other young geniuses all revealed sinister smiles when they saw this scene. They had finally waited for this moment. As long as they chased the other party out, they could guarantee that the other party would be chopped into meat paste in an instant. Let's go too. Young Master Qianshan, Teng Kuan, and the others stood up. They quickly swallowed pills to suppress the injuries in their bodies. At the same time they walked out, because they wanted to see the other party being killed with their own eyes. Only then could they resolve the hatred in their hearts. Seeing young Master Qianshan and the others walking out, the surrounding King Realm experts exclaimed. They also moved one after another, wanting to watch the battle. After all, such an exciting thing probably wouldn't happen even once in a few hundred years. And above the Moonflower Palace, a figure wearing a green veil walked out. She held onto the railing and looked down, her eyes flickering. Master, don't we have to take action? There were a few women in red clothes around her. They asked respectfully. Luo Li shook her head. No need, with Brother Xian's strength, there's definitely no problem. However, the rules of the Moonflower Palace are not allowed to be broken. This time, other than Brother Xian, kill all the people who made a move in the moon-concealing Flower Palace. Cold, killing intent appeared in the eyes of the surrounding women in red. Outside the Moonflower Palace, the atmosphere was incomparably solemn. The place was filled with people. Some of them were experts from the City Lord's mansion, but of course, there were also experts from other families. They had all come after receiving the message from inside. Especially those from the City Lord's mansion, all of them had grave expressions. Because someone actually dared to injure young Master Qianshan. This made them unable to believe it. In Qianshan City, there was still someone who dared to attack young Master Qianshan? Wasn't this courting death? If it weren't for the fact that fighting was not allowed in the Moonflower Palace, they would have already charged in. But at this moment, they had already sealed off all the exits. As long as the other party dared to come out, they would instantly capture him. Soon, the door of the Moonflower Palace opened, and a group of people walked out. Seeing this scene, the experts outside all held their breaths. Their gazes were like sharp swords as they looked over. But soon they frowned. Because the person who came out wasn't the enemy they had imagined, but a woman. A beautiful woman. Beside her, there were a few figures with incomparably powerful auras. Feeling countless gazes looking over, the experts beside the woman all became nervous. Each of them emitted a terrifying pressure. They were ready to attack at any time. The beautiful woman waved her arm and stopped her subordinates. In the next moment, she took a step forward and walked forward. The experts behind her followed. Throughout the entire process, the experts from the City Lord's mansion and the elders of the other families did not make a move. Soon, Yenryu and her group left through the air. Chapter 23:16. Among them, young Master Qianshan, the eldest and second young masters of the Teng family, and the young prodigies of the other large families were the first to come out. As soon as they came out, they all rushed forward to meet up with the powerhouses and elders of their families. Then, their gazes were cold as they gritted their teeth and stared at the exit. Finally, under their gazes, another group of people walked out. "They're here!" Young Master Qianshan shouted coldly, and his handsome face became ferocious. The powerhouses of the governor's mansion behind him were filled with killing intent. Clang! In an instant, they pulled out their swords and sabers, ready to attack at any time. "Kill!" Young Master Qianshan waved his hand, and the powerhouses of the governor's mansion immediately charged forward. Bush, 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 bush. 8 figures moved together like flickering shadows and instantly arrived in front of Lin Xian. Boom, boom. A terrifying attack, the king's domain, blasted downwards without any regard for its own life. Umph. Lin Xian snorted coldly, and the dragon sword domain on his body instantly surged out, turning into a true dragon that attacked in all directions. Bang, 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 bang. 8 figures flew backward. Each of them was pierced by countless sword chi and nailed to the void. "Those who block me will die." Lin Xian's voice was cold, and a murderous aura surrounded his body like a god of death. His terrifying voice instantly spread in all directions. Hearing this, everyone fell silent. The powerhouses at the front had ugly expressions on their faces. The martial artists who were watching the battle behind felt their scalps go numb. He was too powerful, even more powerful than when he was in the Moonflower Palace. Brat, so what if you're arrogant? This is not the Moonflower Palace, where there are no scruples. Do you think you can compete with the entire governor's mansion? Young Master Qianshan shouted coldly. On the other side, the eldest young master of the Teng family, Teng Kuan, and the other young prodigies also sneered. There were countless people around them, and each of them was extremely powerful. The murderous aura on their bodies condensed into a cage that imprisoned the entire space. Is that so? You're very confident, but you can give it a try. Lin Xian looked around disdainfully, not caring at all. Beside him, Murong Qingchen also stopped smiling as a horrifying aura spread out from her body. The dark red divine dragon snorted coldly. Come, 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 line up and let this emperor roast you all. Xiao Kuang, Xiao Ling, and Zhao Zhirua also secretly circulated their spirit energy, preparing to attack at any moment. Charge! Kill him! Young Master Qianshan coldly snorted. This time, more than 10 experts rushed out. Not only that, the family elders around the city lord's mansion also moved out. In an instant, 50 to 60 figures flickered in the air. Seeing this scene, the martial artists watching the battle in the Moonflower Illusion Palace were extremely shocked and did not dare to come out. They began to worry about Lin Xian. Such a powerful lineup, I'm afraid it's impossible to stop them, right? Lin Xian looked at this scene and snorted coldly. Then he said, do it. Tiger! Murong Qingqing and the Crimson Divine Dragon stood out. Beside them, Xiao Kuang also said, Miss Zero, help me look after Ling. As he spoke, Xiao Kuang took a step forward and pulled out the battle blade on his back. Zhao Zhiro sighed. She didn't attack. Instead, she came to Ling Er's side. At the same time, she released a screen of light that enveloped the two of them. You still want to resist? You're overestimating yourself. In front of them, young Master Qianshan, Teng Kuan, and the others sneered. With so many experts attacking together, no one could resist. Lin Xian also made his move. The Crimson Divine Dragon spat out balls of dragon flames in front of it. Murong Qingqing released a 5-colored lotus. The bright petals danced in the air. Lin Xian was even more powerful. The ancient dragon abyss sword in his hand continued to grow bigger and bigger. It was like a huge mountain that pressed down. In an instant, the 5 experts in front of him were killed by the terrifying sword light. Boom, boom, boom. Terrifying explosions sounded between heaven and earth. Terrifying energy swept in all directions. Countless cracks appeared in the void. Soon, young Master Qianshan and the others screamed. Damn it, this is impossible. They realized that the other party had actually blocked this terrifying attack. There were more than 50 experts. How could the other party block them? The other party only had 4 people. They had seen Lin Xian's strength. They had also heard of Xiao Kuang's reputation. He was an expert from the Hong sect. However, what was going on with that red snake and that beautiful woman? Their auras were incomparably powerful. The terrifying divine powers that they used could tear an area apart. These were 4 peerless experts. Their scalps tingled. Young Master Qianshan and Teng Kuan roared crazily. Kill them all. The two of them were about to go crazy. They didn't expect that the experts from their families couldn't do anything to the other party. Buzz. Dozens of figures quickly charged over. At the same time, the surrounding people joined forces to set up the array. Pumph. The Crimson Divine Dragon snorted coldly. It waved its dragon claws and tail, and terrifying energy surged out. Lin Xian snorted coldly. A cold light flashed in his eyes. In the next moment, the great dragon sword soul in his body operated crazily. A terrifying energy burst out and directly tore the entire sky apart. Demon Seal. Brother Zhan. Sky shattering. The 3 killer moves were unleashed and killed in all directions. Kill. Lin Xian waved his ancient sword again. Chaotic pattern. A terrifying sword mark instantly tore the void apart. The power of space engulfed many powerhouses. At this moment, Lin Xian was like a god of war. He was unstoppable. A dragon-shaped phantom appeared on his body. It was extremely terrifying. Oh no! This kid is too strong. Hurry up and escape. Many elders of the families cried out in alarm. Originally, they thought that they could join forces to kill the other party. But now, it seemed that it was not the case at all. The other party's strength was completely beyond their imagination. That was definitely comparable to the attack of a peerless mighty figure. If they continued to fight, they would probably be killed. Therefore, for a moment, many families had the intention to retreat. Many elders and young prodigies of the families left. The Crimson Divine Dragon looked at this scene and snorted coldly. You want to leave? Not so easy. He waved his dragon claws. Dark clouds covered the sky, and heavy rain poured down. Rumble. Thunder and lightning fell, and it was a scene of destruction. The elders and powerhouses of the families were enveloped by the rain and thunder, and they screamed miserably. That was not ordinary rain. When the raindrops hit their bodies, they instantly pierced through their bodies. And those thunder and lightning were like heavenly tribulations, striking them until they screamed miserably. In an instant, 3 families were destroyed. Seeing this scene, everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. This is too terrifying. Clouds and rain. This is really the divine ability of the legendary dragons. It seems that this is definitely a flood dragon. The martial artists who were watching the battle also cried out in alarm. On the other side, Murong Qingqing used the flying flower divine ability. Petals danced in the sky, and it was abnormally beautiful. But in an instant, it killed the powerhouses of 2 families. This scene was also shocking. Xiao Kuang used a terrifying saber technique and also killed many powerhouses. Chapter 23:17. Save me. Upon seeing this, young Master Qianshan's scalp went numb, and he did not dare to fight at all. He retreated backward. The powerhouses from the governor's residence rushed forward one after another. Clang. The 5 of them joined forces and blocked Lin Xian. However, the 5 of them were also pushed back. 3 of them were seriously injured, and 2 of them even vomited blood. Their eyes were filled with shock. Upon seeing this, Lin Xian's body swayed. Instead of continuing, he turned around and attacked Teng Kuan and the eldest young master of the Teng family. Damn it! Teng Kuan and the eldest young master of the Teng family roared furiously. At the same time, the 2 of them retreated frantically. The 3 elders of the Teng family walked out. They quickly used their king's domains and rushed out from their bodies. The silhouettes of 3 terrifying serpents appeared. This was their king domains, and they seemed to be real as they bared their fangs and brandished their claws. As soon as the 3-headed soaring serpents appeared, they instantly pounced on Lin Xian. The space in front of them was instantly shattered, and countless black holes appeared. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Lin Xian brandished his ancient sword and released 3 streaks of sword qi to fight against the serpents. Boom boom boom. The 3 streaks of sword qi collided with the soaring serpents, causing a shocking collision. Crack. The sword qi was destroyed by the soaring serpents, and the soaring serpents dimmed and were much weaker than before. Damn it! Upon seeing this, the 3 elders from the Teng family looked gloomy. Their opponent's sword qi is so powerful. Lin Xian squinted his eyes. It seems like the Teng family has some tricks up their sleeves. The silhouettes of the soaring serpents were very similar to some ancient demonic beasts. Is this family related to the demon clan? He did not know, but he had decided that he would not let these people leave alive. Buzz. Next, he stomped his foot, and the demon-slaying sword formation instantly covered the surroundings. Countless blood-red sword qi rushed up from the ground and attacked the eldest young master and Teng Kuan who were in the crowd. You're courting death. Upon seeing this, the elders from the Teng family shouted angrily and wanted to stop them. However, the demon-slaying sword qi was too terrifying. It carried boundless killing intent and instantly shrouded Teng Kuan and the eldest young master. Get lost. The 2 young geniuses roared angrily. Armor appeared on their bodies, light screens, and other layers of defenses to resist. Whoosh whoosh. They dodged frantically, but the space they were in was completely enveloped by the sea of blood. They had nowhere to hide and could only take it head-on. Pung ping pung. In just a single clash, their armor, shields, and light barriers were shattered, leaving terrifying cracks on them. The two screamed crazily, but they couldn't dodge at all. At the moment of crisis, a ferocious look appeared in their eyes, and green scales appeared on their bodies. Those green scales were abnormally ferocious, covering their entire bodies as soon as they appeared. Boom! Clang! The sword chi slashed on their bodies, producing a loud sound, and the two of them were sent flying. Lin Xian furrowed his brows and said lightly, because the result was beyond his expectations. Originally, the frightening sword aura should have been able to directly split the two of them apart. However, it had only injured the two of them and not killed them. When he saw the green scales on his opponent's body, his pupils shrank. The demon clan. Lin Xian was too shocked because the people who protected Yen Ryu previously had such scales on their bodies. However, the other party was wearing human skin. However, why did the Teng family have such scales too? Could it be that the other party was also from the demon clan? He was too shocked. The King Almighties in the surroundings also exclaimed. It was rumored that the Teng family was a half-demon clan. It seemed like it was true. Yes, it was said that their ancestor was born from the union of a soaring serpent and a human powerhouse. They originally thought it was just a legend, but it seemed like it was true. Sounds of discussion could be heard. After Lin Xian heard it, he narrowed his eyes. A half-demon clan. He didn't expect the Teng family to have such a background. On the opposite side, the Teng family's eldest young master and Teng Kun also spat out a mouthful of blood. Then, the scales on their bodies flickered and quickly healed their wounds. There was a terrifying sword mark on their bodies that cut open their scales, revealing deep white bones. Fortunately, they had activated the demon clan's bloodline in an instant, causing their bodies to become abnormally strong. In addition to the scales on their bodies, they were not cut in half. However, their expressions were incomparably gloomy and cold. Brat, you're courting death. I'll definitely kill you today. Teng Kun gritted his teeth, and the Teng family's eldest young master was surrounded by a murderous aura. When the elders saw this, they no longer hid their strength, and scales appeared on their bodies. Illusory figures of soaring serpents circled behind them. These figures of soaring serpents circled in the air and condensed into an even larger soaring serpent that was 30,000 meters long. What's this? Everyone was stunned, but someone also exclaimed. This is their bloodline power. They were from the same clan, so their bloodline power could naturally fuse together. Heavens, this attack is too terrifying. It's definitely at the level of a peerless almighty. I wonder if this brat can resist it. The 30,000-meter-tall soaring serpent danced in the air and covered the entire sky. As soon as it appeared, it kept roaring, and its voice shattered the 9 heavens. Then, the gigantic body and head charged towards Lin Xian at high speed. The runes in the sky flickered, and the light pierced through the 9 heavens. This scene made everyone's heart beat wildly. The people behind quickly fled into the Moonflower Palace because there was a formation in the palace that could protect their safety. The experts outside also put up their armors or shields to defend themselves. Because just the aftermath of this energy was enough to kill an ordinary almighty. If their son were to be hit head-on, he would definitely be killed instantly. Not good, retreat. When Xiao Kuang saw this, he quickly retreated, protecting Xiao Ling and retreating into the Moonflower Palace with Zhao Zhirua. Only Lin Xian, Murong Qingqing, and the Dark Red Dragon were left in front. The 3 of them were radiating light, resisting the terrifying energy impact. At this time, Lin Xian also moved. The ancient sword in his hand slashed forward, and a bright sword light slashed down, turning into a huge dragon that danced in the air. That huge dragon also seemed to be real, and it was extremely powerful. The moment it appeared, it roared in the void. Boom boom boom. The illusory figures of dragons and serpents fought in the sky. Everyone was shocked. This scene was too shocking. The battle between the 30,000-meter tall soaring serpent and the terrifying huge dragon shook the 9 heavens. They had probably never seen such a scene in their lives. However, what shocked them even more was Lin Xian's strength. One had to know that the soaring serpent in front was formed by countless Ting family experts, and it was equivalent to a peerless almighty attacking. Even so, the other party was still able to block it. They were in disbelief. What level has this brat reached? Has he reached the level of a peerless almighty? Boom! Just as their thoughts were running wild, the scene in front of them changed again. Chapter 23:18. There was a huge explosion in the sky. The soaring serpent wailed as its head was crushed by the dragon's claw. Terrifying rune light scattered in all directions. A loud dragon roar sounded, then it turned into a sword light and slashed down. The soaring serpent phantom was split into two halves. Light scattered down, and its huge body caused cracks to appear in the space. The Tang family's martial artists all vomited blood and flew backward with pale faces. They covered their hearts in shock. Damn it! Impossible! This is impossible! How can he be so powerful? I don't believe it! The Tang family's powerhouses went crazy, especially Teng Kuan and the eldest young master of the Teng family. They were terrified as if they had seen a ghost. That was a young man who was similar to them. How could he resist the attack of an unparalleled almighty? They didn't dare to imagine. Even though they were top-notch geniuses, they were still far from being able to match up to an almighty figure. Because it was an insurmountable chasm. However, the other party did it. Their faces were filled with shock. Young Master Qiansan's pupils constricted. This scene shocked him. He realized that he had underestimated the other party. He had only seen the other party's aura on the yin-yang sex, yin-yang saint and saintess. In other words, the other party was a saint. Thinking of this, his heart beat wildly. The saint was the top existence among the young people. Generally, at this level, the saint and saintess basically had the combat power of an unparalleled almighty. Although they were also prodigies, they were not on the same level as the saint and saintess. Therefore, when he thought of this, his expression became extremely ugly. In the next moment, he roared and quickly retreated. This kid was a saint. Let the unparalleled almighty take action. Young Master Qiansan roared and retreated frantically. When the surrounding people heard this, they were all stunned. What, a saint prodigy? Heavens, who the hell is this kid? Could it be that he was really a saint from a large sect? They didn't dare to imagine, but at this moment, everyone was terrified and unconsciously retreated. The tens of millions of martial artists in the Moon Shameful Palace were even more shocked when they saw this scene. They originally thought that the City Lord's mansion and the major families could easily kill the other party. But unexpectedly, the situation was far beyond their expectations. A young man with a long sword had actually intimidated hundreds of experts. This was simply too shocking. For a time, many people fled. After all, although they were powerful, they were still unable to fight against the battle strength of an almighty. Therefore, they decided to leave temporarily. He would wait for the true peerless experts of the clan to arrive before killing the other party. You want to leave? How could this be? Lin Xian sneered. He wouldn't let his enemy leave. Even if these people were from the City Lord's mansion and the big families, it was the same. The dark red divine dragon raised its hand and formed a formation that suppressed the surroundings. Seeing that their way was blocked, these people's faces turned pale. They turned their heads and roared ferociously, "Damn brat! You dare to stop us? You're dead meat. My City Lord Manor is nearby, and very soon, a peerless expert will be alerted." Young Master Qiansan roared. Is that so? Then let's see if the peerless experts of your City Lord's mansion are faster, or if I'm faster. I hope you can hold on for a while. As he spoke, Lin Xian formed a seal with his palms, and a terrifying aura quickly surged from his body. In the next moment, a shocking change appeared on his body. Half of his majestic body turned pitch black and burned fiercely. The other half turned azure, like a divine crystal. Seeing this change, everyone was shocked. Meanwhile, young Master Qiansan screamed. Damn it, how could this be? The yin-yang superpower. He was stunned because he realized that this scene was very similar to the yin-yang superpower on his body. Right now, he was half black and half white. His opponent was not using the yin-yang superpower, but the ice and fire superpower. What was he trying to do? Was he trying to imitate the yin-yang sex cultivation method? What a joke! This kind of cultivation method had a mental cultivation method and an internal circulation route. It couldn't be wrong at all. Did the other party think that he could imitate the appearance of the yin-yang sex cultivation method? Was he out of his mind? However, in the next moment, his body trembled because two long swords appeared in front of him. One was a long sword of fire, and the other was a long sword of ice. The power of ice and fire was released, which was very similar to the scene of the yin-yang saber. Come, have a taste of my ice and fire swords. The corner of Lin Xian's mouth curled up into a smile. He had used the great dragon sword soul to display this ability after observing the yin-yang blade. Damn it, you're deliberately mystifying me. I don't believe that your power can surpass my yin-yang saber. Young Master Qianshan gritted his teeth. The black and white sabers appeared in front of him again and slashed out. Lin Xian waved his hand, and the ice and fire swords also flew out. Bang! The two superpowers collided in the air, tearing the void apart. The yin-yang qi filled the air, and the power of ice and fire rampaged. Boom! 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 Young Master Qianshan kept retreating and vomited blood again. His face was full of shock. That was because his yin-yang saber was shattered again. His opponent's terrifying ice and fire swords were quickly approaching him. He had no choice but to ask the powerhouses next to him for help. Soon, 7 powerhouses joined forces to block the ice and fire swords. However, their arms were numb, and their faces were full of shock. 2 of the powerhouses even had their arms cut off. Damn it, how could the power be so strong? Why are you so surprised? Don't panic, the best part is yet to come. Lin Xian looked at his opponent and formed a seal with his palms again. Buzz! The ice and fire swords quickly transformed into a yin-yang saber, just like before. What? Yin-yang blade, how did you do it? That's impossible. How do you know the yin-yang sex superpowers? Young Master Qianshan was about to go crazy. The people around him also opened their mouths wide in shock. Heavens, how did this brat do it? If I'm not wrong, you haven't mastered the yin-yang saber yet, right? Look at the yin-yang sex superpowers. However, I don't think you can do it. Today, I'll show you what the yin-yang saber is. As Lin Xian said that, he waved his hand. The yin-yang saber in front of him flashed rapidly and formed a terrifying long saber. It was black and white and emitted a terrifying power. No! How did you do it? Young Master Qianshan went crazy. Indeed, the yin-yang superpowers were the yin-yang saber. For example, the yin-yang saber could be merged into one. However, his current strength was not enough, so he could not merge them. However, his opponent did it so easily. He could not believe it. Among the younger generation of the yin-yang sect, there were no more than 4 people who could do that. Although he was considered a prodigy, he could not do it at all. Chapter 23:19. Lin Xian waved his hand, and the terrifying yin-yang saber descended mercilessly, instantly enveloping young Master Qiansan. No! Young Master Qiansan screamed crazily and fled like a madman. The yin-yang energy in his body circulated rapidly. He wanted to escape. Beside him, the 13 mighty figures also roared angrily, and their king domains quickly surged out to resist. Boom! In the next moment, the yin-yang saber slashed down, and the 13 king domains were instantly shattered. The 13 mighty figures' bodies were split in half, and they fell to the ground. As for young Master Qiansan, his body stiffened and he was stunned in midair. A blood line appeared between his eyebrows, and blood instantly flowed out, dyeing his face red. His body split open from the middle with a crack. Plop! Young Master Qiansan's body fell into a pool of blood. Although it was split open, his eyes were filled with shock. He did not expect that he would be killed by his own ultimate technique, the yin-yang saber. It was probably the greatest irony. What? Young Master Qiansan is dead. The 13 mighty figures were all killed. Everyone went crazy. This saber was too terrifying. Nothing could stop it. When the other families saw this scene, they were even more frightened. This young man even dared to kill the people of the governor's mansion. They were afraid that this young man would not let them go. Especially Elder Zhang of the Teng family, his face was extremely ugly. The eldest young master of the Teng family and Teng Kuan were so scared that their faces turned pale. They were no longer as arrogant as before. Instead, it was replaced with a hint of fear. They just wanted to escape from here. Let's go, let's go. Everyone fled crazily, bombarding the array formation in all directions. They wanted to escape. Lin Xian waved his hand, and the space domain instantly flew out, covering the entire space. The sword chi that filled the skies scattered mercilessly like a divine sword descending from the sky. Screams sounded. The powerhouses of the families in the distance were all pierced by the divine sword and nailed to the ground. No one could resist it. This was because this was the strongest power. Clang, clang. The other elders and young geniuses of the families screamed in pain as they were all killed. The Teng family could still resist. They relied on the power of their bloodline and merged with their bodies to form a terrifying soaring serpent shadow that firmly protected them. However, in the face of the terrifying divine sword attack, they were still affected. Many of them coughed up blood, and some of them even had their energy sucked dry. They directly turned into human skins and fell to the ground. However, the core members, eldest young master and Teng Kuan, were not killed. Seeing this, Lin Xian snorted coldly and charged forward. The Azure Dragon's large hand reached out and grabbed forward. Teng Kuan and the Teng clan's eldest young master screamed crazily, their faces filled with despair. Those elders' faces were also pale. If they were caught, they would definitely die. However, at this moment, the void behind them suddenly split open, and a hand reached out. Peng ping peng. The pitch-black palm collided with the Azure Dragon palm in midair. After that, the two of them clashed 18 times in a row, and the void in the sky exploded. There was nothing that could withstand this terrifying energy. A peerless mighty figure had made his move. Fortunately, the Moonflower Palace had a super strong array that blocked all the attacks. Looking at this scene, they were extremely shocked. Lin Xian furrowed his brows even more. He could feel that this person was extremely terrifying. He was definitely a peerless almighty. Kakaka. His Azure Dragon palm shattered, turning into countless energy that scattered in all directions. The pitch-black palm enveloped Teng Kuan and the others, pulling them into the spatial crack and disappearing. In the Moonflower Palace, although there was a defensive array, those cultivators were still shaken to the ground by the terrifying force, and their faces were pale. They trembled. A peerless almighty figure. A peerless almighty figure had finally appeared. Needless to say, this should be the Teng family's peerless almighty figure. However, what made them even more shocked was that Lin Xian was actually able to fight evenly with a peerless almighty figure. It was really too shocking. Lin Xian also narrowed his eyes. He did not expect that the first peerless almighty figure was not from the City Lord Mansion, but from the Teng family. This really surprised him. At the side, the dark red divine dragon flew over. Kid, do you want to chase after it? Behind it, Murong Qingqing, Xiao Kuang, Ling Zhao Zhihua, and the others also walked over. However, before they could speak, a black rune suddenly appeared under their feet. It spread in all directions and quickly formed a pattern of the 9 netherworld flower. Whoosh! In the next moment, the 9 netherworld flower bloomed and completely enveloped Lin Xian and the others. They disappeared on the spot. What happened? In the Moonflower Castle, when those people saw this scene, they were all stunned. They looked around and realized that Lin Xian and the others had actually disappeared. Did they leave? They did not know, but when they felt the surrounding energy disappear, they walked out in bewilderment. In the next moment, they trembled again because a few powerful figures descended like an ancient demon mountain. They were pressed to the ground again. These were 3 figures. Their bodies were shining with light, making them look like war gods. Their bodies were cold, and their gazes were like divine lamps, making people not dare to look at them directly. Who made a move here? One of them asked coldly. As for the other two, their gazes scanned their surroundings. Young master. Suddenly, they screamed and waved their hands, and the corpse on the ground floated up. When the three peerless almighties saw this scene, their faces instantly changed. They roared crazily, and their voices shook the 9 heavens. In an instant, millions of warriors fainted, and the remaining almighties vomited blood, their faces full of fear. Who dares to kill the young master of the city lord mansion? The three peerless almighties roared at the sky and stared at the remaining warriors. Those warriors' scalps went numb, and their bodies trembled. Boom! A peerless almighty stretched out his hand like a demon king and instantly grabbed another almighty. Speak, who is it? Who did it? The almighty trembled, and his face was full of fear. He was about to speak. But in the next moment, his body suddenly exploded. The peerless almighty grabbed with his hand and began to forcibly collect the other party's soul. Soon, with a wave of his sleeve, the blood mist in the sky disappeared completely. Everyone was shocked. The almighty was killed just like that? It was like cutting grass. Was this the power of a peerless almighty? Terrifying. It was this kid. A peerless almighty flicked his finger, and the image that he collected from the other party's memory condensed in the sky. It was a handsome young man in a red robe. It was Lin Xian's image. It was this kid. He was the one who killed young Master Qianshan. Everyone listen up. Find him at all costs. We must catch this kid. From now on, seal off Qianshan City. We must not let him escape. At the same time, contact all the forces in Qianshan City. Once they find him, kill him without mercy. A cold voice sounded, and the warriors of the city lord mansion moved quickly. The three peerless almighties quickly rose into the air. The three of them stood in 3 directions and quickly formed seals with their hands. Chapter 23:20. However, they didn't know that Lin Xian had been teleported away from Qianshan City. Of course, Lin Xian and the others didn't leave on their own accord. They were teleported away. The 9 nether flower was very mysterious. It wrapped Lin Xian and the others and teleported them 100,000 miles away. With a flash of light, Lin Xian and the others appeared in a barren mountain. As soon as they appeared, Lin Xian's great dragon sword soul was instantly activated. The dragon sword realm enveloped the surroundings and protected the others. Murong Qingqing, the dark red divine dragon, and the others instantly regained their consciousness. They looked around cautiously. There was a barren mountain around them. There was no one around except for a few crows cawing. However, when they arrived, the crows flapped their wings and quickly left. In front of them stood a group of people. They were Teng Kuan and the other cultivators of the Teng family. Boom, boom. In the sky, a large black ship slowly descended. The ground trembled and countless cracks appeared. The ship was 100 meters long and there were various palaces on it. The ship was pitch black as if it had rushed out of hell. It was covered with black flowers. The black flowers were exactly the same as the flowers that wrapped Lin Xian and the others. They were the 9 nether flowers. On the black ship, 4 figures appeared. Among them, 2 figures sat there like emperors, overlooking the common people. The other one held a black 9 nether flower in his mouth and looked at Lin Xian and the others with a sneer. The last one flashed and directly appeared in front of Teng Kuan and the others. His speed was so fast that many powerhouses couldn't see him clearly. How did he move? Oh no, it's them. When Xiao Kuang saw this scene, his pupils instantly shrank and his face became incomparably ugly. Brother Xiao, you know them? Lin Xian asked. Xiao Kuang's face turned pale. It was them, the 4 Jili demons. He didn't expect them to come here. The 4 Jili demons. Hearing this name, Lin Xian frowned. It seemed that the 4 of them had a strong background. These were 4 extremely terrifying devil kings. They killed people like scything flax and had no scruples. They were extremely terrifying. The 4 of them moved together. Among them, the great devil and the second devil were peerless almighties. Although the 3 devils and 4 devils were not peerless almighties, they were not far off. He had far surpassed ordinary pinnacle almighties. He was probably half a peerless almighty. What was even more terrifying was that the four of them were working together. Therefore, no one could stop them. He did not expect the Teng family to summon the four Jiuli devils. Brother Lin, let's hurry up and escape. Xiao Kuang's complexion was incomparably pale. Although he was usually very arrogant, facing the four devils of Jiuli, he was extremely shocked. This was because the four of them together were equivalent to three peerless almighties. However, just as Xiao Kuang finished speaking, the black figure in front of him turned around and sneered. "Wanna run? Do you think you can run in front of us?" He was the fourth of the four devils. At this moment, the fourth devil's gaze locked onto Lin Xian and the others. He sneered. "I didn't expect you kids to be so powerful. You're able to make us attack. However, your luck has come to an end. In front of us, you should obediently kneel and wait for your death. Of course, the three beauties can live. It's been a long time since I've seen such beauties. Coincidentally, we're lacking a few cultivation cauldrons. Come over and obediently become our cultivation cauldrons." The fourth devil spoke with a hint of malevolence in his voice. Hearing this, Murong Qingqing snorted coldly. Zhao Zhirua and Ling Er's expressions changed. "You dare to attack the Hong sect?" Xiao Kuang gritted his teeth and said. "So what if we attack you?" At this moment, Teng Kuan also snorted coldly. "You killed my third brother and committed a heinous crime. Even if we kill you, what can you do? Moreover, we're in the wilderness. Even if we kill you, the Hong sect won't know that we did it. But don't worry, it won't be that easy for you to die. I'll capture all of you and let you know how it feels to live a life worse than death." The eldest son of the Ting family also snorted coldly. The death of their third brother had infuriated them greatly. Moreover, in the previous process, their family had also lost many elite experts. They would definitely take revenge for this. Do you think that's possible? Do you think that you can save your lives just because you have four evil spirits? What a joke! Lin Xian sneered disdainfully. Hearing this, Teng Kuan and the others were stunned. They could not believe their ears. In front of them, the fourth devil was stunned. A murderous intent appeared in his eyes. Not only that, but the faces of the other three devils on the black ship also turned gloomy. Their gazes were as sharp as knives that swept across the void. How dare someone look down on them? And the person was a young man? It seemed that he was ignorant. He had a death wish. The fourth devil sneered. "Kid, it seems that you're still young and ignorant. I guess you haven't heard of us, the four devils of Jiuli. Well, I'll let you know today that there's always someone better than you. You're the one who killed third young master? Don't worry, I'll torture you to death." The fourth devil said coldly. He looked to be in his 30s, but no one knew his true age. He was definitely more than 1,000 years old. His face was pale and his eyes were extremely ferocious. As he turned, there was terrifying energy. Buzz. He stretched out his palm, and it instantly turned into a black mountain that covered the sky in front of him. As soon as the black palm appeared, the expressions of Zhirua and the others changed because the other party was too powerful. He had far surpassed the top mighty figures. Moreover, he was only the fourth devil. There were three more terrifying demon kings above him. Especially the great demon, no one knew what realm he had reached. They only knew that he was extremely terrifying. "Do you really think you can kill me? What a joke!" Lin Xian looked at the black palm that was approaching him and snorted coldly. Buzz. Countless sword chi appeared behind him and turned into an azure dragon that floated in the air. The terrifying dragon shadow blotted out the sky. As soon as the dragon shadow appeared, the expressions of Teng Kuan and the others changed again. Even the fourth demon was frowning. That was because he felt an extremely terrifying aura. "Brother Lin, let me deal with him." However, at this moment, Xiao Kuang spoke in a deep voice. Hearing this, Lin Xian was stunned. Murong Qingqing and the others were also very confused. In front, the fourth devil sneered. "Xiao Kuang, you dare to attack me? Did you forget what happened 300 years ago? 300 years ago? What happened?" Lin Xian and the others were confused. It seemed that this wasn't the first time Xiao Kuang had dealt with the fourth devil. Hearing the fourth devil's words, Xiao Kuang's expression became extremely gloomy. His eyes emitted a piercing cold light. You went too far 300 years ago. Today I'll make you pay. Chapter 23-21. Seeing this scene, Lin Xian frowned, but he did not stop him. There must be hatred between the two of them. Alright, let them fight first. Xiao Kuang was a top-notch powerhouse. Although it would be difficult for him to deal with the fourth demon, he might still be able to fight. More importantly, Lin Xian was confident that he would be able to save her in the nick of time. Therefore, he did not make a move. The dragon shadow also returned to his body. Fourth demon, die. In front of him, Xiao Kuang roared crazily, and a terrifying saber light descended from the sky like lightning. The surrounding mountains exploded in an instant, and terrifying cracks appeared on the ground. This scene caused many people's expressions to change. The people from the Teng family were also shocked. This Xiao Kuang is so strong. Yes, he was seriously injured 300 years ago. Not only did his cultivation not regress, but it also improved by leaps and bounds, becoming a top-notch powerhouse. It's very heaven-defying. A few elders discussed in low voices. On the side, the eldest young master snorted after hearing this. So what? The fourth demon is an existence that surpasses top-notch powerhouses. No matter how powerful Xiao Kuang is, he's not a match for him. You're courting death. As expected, the fourth demon sneered. 300 years ago, I could seriously injure you with a palm, and I can do the same now. In the next moment he slapped out with his palm. A terrifying palm wind surged crazily, and the black palm shadow was like the Styx River, surging in the sky and enveloping the entire sky. The entire world began to tremble under the might of the palm. Boom boom boom. In the next moment, the two attacks collided, and a dazzling light burst out. Shocking sounds like thunder resounded in all directions. The surrounding cultivators of the Teng family sealed their hearing and put up a defense to resist. On Lin Xian's side, Murong Qingqing also raised her hand, and a five-colored lotus flower enveloped everyone. Bang! In the next moment, Xiao Kuang was sent flying, and a trace of blood appeared at the corner of his mouth. His face turned pale. It couldn't be helped, the two of them were not on the same level at all. Although Xiao Kuang was considered a terrifying powerhouse and a top-notch powerhouse, he was still lacking in front of the fourth demon. After all, the fourth demon was an existence that surpassed top-notch powerhouses. As expected, I'm not a match. When Teng Kuan and the others saw this scene, they sneered in disdain. Ling Er, on the other hand, cried out in shock. She was so scared that her face lost all color. Murong Qingqing, Zhao Zhihua, and Lin Xian also frowned. However, when they sensed that Xiao Kuang wasn't heavily injured, they all breathed a sigh of relief. Humph, I've said it before, you're not my opponent at all. Up ahead, the fourth devil sneered. Just as he had expected, although 300 years had passed, the other party was still unable to withstand his palm strike. Although the other party was also a pinnacle almighty, there was no way he could fight against Lin Fan. This palm strike was enough to severely injure the other party. However, in the next moment he was stunned. This was because he discovered that even though he was coughing up blood, he didn't seem to be seriously injured. The other party stopped steadily on the ground, and his aura didn't weaken by much. What's going on? Why is it like this? This brat can actually block my attack? The fourth demon's expression sank. The people from the Teng family frowned too, and the smiles on their faces disappeared. The fourth demon lord must not have used his full strength. Otherwise, Xiao Kuang would be dead for sure. That was for sure. How could Xiao Kuang be a match for the fourth demon lord? Just wait and see, he'll be killed in the next palm strike. Many people discussed among themselves. The fourth demon snorted coldly. Indeed, although the previous palm strike was terrifying, it wasn't his full strength. Against a pinnacle almighty, he didn't need to use his full strength. In the next moment, his frown deepened. This was because he discovered that the other party was smiling. This smile was very strange, and it made the fourth demon frown. he snorted coldly. Damn it, what are you smiling about? Do you believe that I'll twist your head off for you? However, Xiao Kuang sneered, I'm laughing at how pitiful you are. It seems that your strength hasn't changed much compared to 300 years ago. However, I've become a pinnacle almighty from an elite almighty. Fourth demon, you've regressed. It won't be long before I surpass you completely. Presumptuous. Nonsense. The fourth demon sneered, I haven't improved? Do you think that it's easy to improve at my level? He snorted coldly, how many people haven't improved in 1,000 years? Kid, you're too weak. You haven't reached my level, so you don't know how difficult it is to improve. You want to catch up with me? Stop dreaming. Today is the day you die. You won't have the chance. Is that so? That's not necessarily true. I'll show you how much I've improved in the past 300 years. Xiao Kuang looked up to the sky and laughed. His body shone brightly. Demon Slayer Saber. With a roar, he held the saber with both hands and slashed forward. Upon seeing this sight, everyone immediately turned their gazes toward Zhang Xian. The fourth demon frowned. However, after waiting for a long time, no saber light flashed. This caused everyone to be extremely puzzled. Even Lin Xian and the rest narrowed their eyes. What's going on? Zhao Zhihua was puzzled. On the opposite side, Teng Gong and the others laughed disdainfully. Ha! They thought that it was some kind of ultimate move, but it didn't have any power at all. Is this the strength of the Hong sect? They snorted disdainfully. The fourth demon sneered coldly. You don't know what's good for you. What do you think your fancy moves can do to me? Kid, if you don't have any other ultimate moves, don't blame me for killing you. Boom. As soon as he finished speaking, a black saber light appeared in the sky and slashed downward. The attack was too fast, and more importantly, it was too sudden. No one had noticed it before. Even Lin Xian was surprised. The fourth demon didn't expect it either. Therefore, he was hit by the saber and was sent flying for 3,000 meters. Boom, boom, boom. The fourth demon flew backward, knocking over countless mountains. Terrifying cracks appeared in the void. The fourth demon's black robe was torn, and his hair was disheveled. His armor didn't break, but blood trickled down from the corner of his mouth. This was because the saber attack had caused his body to churn. This was because he was strong. If it had been an ordinary top-notch almighty, he probably wouldn't have been able to withstand this saber strike. How dare you hurt me? The fourth demon reached out and tore his black robe, revealing his black armor. His eyes were cold as killing intent erupted from his body. He was furious. He didn't expect his opponent to hurt him with a single move. Although the attack didn't cause any fatal damage, it was no different from a slap to his face. The other cultivators of the Teng family were also stunned. They were afraid because they realized that they wouldn't have been able to dodge such an attack. They might even have been killed in one move. Damn it, how did this guy have such a terrifying saber technique? Chapter 23-22. Damn it. How could this guy have such a terrifying saber technique? What kind of divine ability was that? Their faces were gloomy. On the other side, Murong Qingqing, Lin Xian, and the others also exclaimed. Ling clapped and cheered. Great, kill them. Brother Xiao, you can do it. Go and die. In front, the fourth demon roared crazily and pounced over like a demon king. Terrifying black ghost claws surged in the sky. Swoosh, swoosh. Xiao Kuang did not take it head-on. He quickly used his movement technique and dodged. This was because he knew that there was a gap between them. Taking it head-on would not end well. He quickly pulled away and dodged the terrifying claws. At the same time, the demon-slaying saber attacked again. Buzz. The terrifying black saber light appeared and disappeared mysteriously as if it had come from another world. It appeared behind the fourth demon in an instant. Then, it slashed the fourth demon's body. Bang. The fourth demon was sent flying again and landed on the ground. Boom. A deep pit appeared on the ground and dense cracks spread in all directions. The fourth demon roared at the sky, extremely furious. He did not expect that he would be hit again. This was intolerable. However, before he could stand up, the terrifying saber light in the sky slammed him down again. Boom! A total of 3 black saber lights slammed the 4th demon into the ground. There was no trace of him at all. There was only a pitch-black hole. In the sky, Xiao Kuang was panting and his face was pale. It was obvious that using this move consecutively consumed a lot of his energy. However, his eyes were abnormally bright like starlight as he stared at the ground. Damn it! How could this be? When the cultivators of the Teng family saw this scene, their expressions changed again. Especially the eldest young master, Teng Kuan, and the elders, their faces were filled with fear. They knew how powerful the 4th demon was. He could even kill a top almighty as easily as blowing off dust. But now, he was actually slammed into the ground. It was unknown if he was even dead or alive. Xiao Kuang in front of them was already so powerful. On the black ship, the other 3 figures also looked in their direction. Among them, the great demon and 2nd demon were expressionless. The 3rd demon played with the 9 netherworld flower in his hand and sneered. Interesting. However, it was still not enough. It seemed that they were very confident in the 4th devil. Sure enough, in the next moment, the ground split open, and a figure rushed up like lightning. Demonic chi revolved around his body, and his black hair fluttered in the wind. His entire being was filled with killing intent. It really was the 4th demon. The murderous aura on his body was monstrous. He was covered in blood and his face was abnormally ferocious. Although the previous slashes did not take his life, he was still injured. More importantly, he couldn't stand this kind of thing. The 4th devil was so angry that his lungs felt like they were about to explode. Not too long ago, he had been able to send an ant flying with a single slap. But now he was injured? This huge contrast made him unable to accept it. Damn brat! I'm going to kill you! The 4th devil was enraged. The demonic chi on his body pierced through the heavens and the earth, causing the surrounding clouds to churn and cover the entire sky. Boom! Boom! In the sky, dark clouds covered the city. Dozens of demonic claws appeared, covering the sky and covering the earth as they clawed downward. Demonic shadows appeared in the surroundings. They held black sickles in their hands and were abnormally terrifying. Boom! Boom! As soon as these demonic shadows appeared, they pounced forward without any regard for their lives. Soon, it was enveloped by demonic chi, and earth-shattering sounds of fighting could be heard. Xiao Kuang and the 4th devil were fighting together. Although Xiao Kuang's demon-slaying saber was incomparably terrifying and unpredictable, it still could not threaten the 4th devil's life. On the contrary, the 4th devil used several terrifying divine abilities to injure Xiao Kuang. In fact, one of the moves almost took his life. At this moment, Xiao Kuang's body was broken and blood flowed, but he still refused to stop. He roared towards the sky and used all his strength to strike out with the demon-slaying saber again. This saber appeared behind the 4th devil and instantly cut open his armor and smashed into his body. Blood spurted out in an instant, dyeing the armor red, and even the sky red. This was the blood of the Demon King. It was extremely terrifying and instantly pierced through the void. The ground was also dyed red, turning into countless drops of blood and sweat. He was injured. Seeing this scene, Teng Kuan and the others exclaimed in disbelief. Even the 3rd devil, who was on the black ship, let out a soft exclamation. Clearly, he was also taken aback by what was happening. The 4th devil's expression was even more distorted. The other party had actually injured him and even destroyed his armor. Unforgivable. He struck out with both palms and a huge black hand covered the sky and earth, instantly enveloping Xiao Kuang. Crack, crack, crack. Countless bones in Xiao Kuang's body were broken as he flew backwards. However, the 4th devil obviously did not let him go. In the sky, 300 demonic claws appeared and tore through the void, wanting to crush Xiao Kuang. Brother Xiao. Seeing this scene, Ling exclaimed in shock, her face pale. Zhao Zhiruo's heart was also in her mouth. She was extremely nervous. However, at this moment, a sharp sword light suddenly appeared in the sky and poured down like the Milky Way. In an instant, the 300 demonic claws were cut apart. Bang, bang. Countless black gas rolled and the 300 demonic claws disappeared in the sky. At the same time, a 5-colored lotus caught Xiao Kuang and gently placed him on the ground. What? He was blocked. On the opposite side, the 4th devil was stunned. The people from the Teng family exclaimed. On the other side, Zhao Zhiro and the others all surrounded him. Zhao Zhiro even took out countless spiritual herbs and fed them to Xiao Kuang. Xiao Kuang coughed out 2 mouthfuls of blood and ate the pills. Then he smiled. Don't worry, I won't die. However, it was enough to injure the 4th devil. Indeed, although this palm had injured Xiao Kuang, he was very happy. This was because 300 years ago, he was seriously injured by a single move from the 4th devil. However, 300 years later, he could successfully injure the 4th devil. This change made Xiao Kuang very satisfied with himself. However, on the opposite side, the 4th devil's face was extremely gloomy. The murderous aura on his body turned into demonic claws that pierced through the sky. Damn it! Who was it? Who dared to stop him from killing? Did they not want to live anymore? He swore that no matter who it was, he would kill them. In the next moment, he saw it. A red-robed young man walked out again. Brat, it's you. He saw clearly that it was this brat who had slashed his 300 demonic claws. How dare you interfere with my business? The 4th devil was furious. The demonic claws on his body stretched out again, turning into a black demonic mountain that pressed down on Lin Xian. It covered the sky and the earth, instantly shattering the void. When this palm came out, the cultivators from the Teng family cheered. This was because they could feel that the 4th devil was really angry. This attack was much more powerful than the previous one. Chapter 23:23. The 4th demon was really angry. This attack was much more powerful than the previous ones. It seemed that the other party would not be able to block it. Lin Xian snorted coldly as he looked at the other party's monstrous claws. In the next moment, countless sword lights gathered on his body and formed a giant sword that slashed forward. Boom! As the sword slashed down, the void split open. Monstrous waves of air slapped in all directions like seawater. Soon, the black claws were cut apart. Crack, crack, crack. The terrifying claws were instantly split into pieces and turned into demonic chi that dissipated in all directions. Bang. The 4th demon also screamed and kept retreating. Damn it, what happened? Hearing the scream, the Teng family members hurriedly looked over. Then, they gasped in disbelief. They saw the 4th demon holding his arm with a ferocious expression. Blood flowed down his arm and dyed the ground red. A sword mark almost severed his opponent's arm. How could it be? The 4th demon was injured again. At this moment, even the 3 demons on the black ship could not remain calm. He stopped smiling and his eyes shone with a cold light. This was because he did not expect the other party to be able to injure the 4th demon so severely. He had to admit that the other party's strength was definitely beyond his imagination. Damn brat, how dare you hurt me? I will definitely tear you into pieces. The 4th demon roared at the sky. His black hair danced wildly and turned into a river that danced in the air. The terrifying sound waves shattered the 9 heavens. Boom! Endless demonic chi flowed through his body and turned into a demon king. He was 10,000 meters tall and stood tall. Its body was pitch black as if a demon god had descended to the human world. With a roar, monstrous killing intent rolled out like a huge wave. This caused everyone's bodies to tremble. The martial artists and elders of the Teng family frantically retreated tens of thousands of miles away to watch the battle. This was because they did not dare to get too close. The aura in front was too terrifying. A mere 4th demon dares to fight against me? Lin Xian sneered in disdain. He snorted coldly and countless sword lights surrounded his back. The dragon sword territory instantly surged out. Then, it turned into a giant dragon and roared as it flew forward. Boom! Boom! An earth-shattering collision sound rang out as the huge Devil King was directly pierced through, its body splitting into 2 halves. The 4th devil let out a miserable shriek and was sent flying backward. His body was a bloody mess, and more than half of his armor had been shattered. Countless bones in his body were broken. What? Defeated? Upon seeing this, the people from the Teng family in the distance widened their eyes. They could not believe that the terrifying fourth demon had been defeated by a single sword strike. Wasn't this method a little too terrifying? You're just a piece of trash. How dare you attack me? Lin Xian snorted coldly and ignored him. Instead, he stared at the black ship in the distance. He pointed his sword at them. The three of you can come at me together. The eyelids of Teng Kuan and the others twitched fiercely when they heard this. Not to mention him, even Zhao Zhirua, Xiao Linger and the others were completely stupefied. For a moment, the entire scene was incomparably silent. Damn it! Damn it! Off in the distance, the fourth devil flew back. That sword strike just now had sent him flying for 10,000 miles. His body was severely injured, and he was currently taking pills to recover. His body swayed, and he arrived nearby with a cold gaze. He glared at Lin Xian as if he were a demon, roaring incessantly. However, he did not make a move, because he did not dare to. That strike just now was too shocking, and it made him fearful. I'll kill you. On the black ship, the third demon snorted coldly. His body swayed, and he instantly disappeared. Then he appeared in front of Lin Xian. Buzz. When the third demon appeared, the surrounding space quickly trembled, and countless cracks appeared. It could not withstand this terrifying power at all. Is the third demon going to make a move? Behind him, Teng Kuan and the others cried out in surprise. They regained their hope. This was because the third demon was even more powerful than the fourth demon. With the third demon making a move, they would definitely be able to kill him. The people from the Teng family secretly watched from afar. In front of them, the third demon snorted coldly. His eyes were unusually cold, and they were like two divine spears that pierced through the void. As the third of the four demons of Jili, he was very powerful. Although he had not become a peerless almighty, his strength was not inferior to a peerless almighty. In fact, he could even contend against them. It could be said that he was very terrifying. Third brother. Seeing the third demon make a move, the fourth demon also shouted in a low voice. Fourth brother, go to the side and recover first. I'll kill him. The third demon said coldly. Then, countless rays of light surged from his body. The purple light that filled the sky revolved and turned into a purple raccoon. It was very huge, like a purple mountain that covered the sky. Buzz. He carried countless purple lights and charged forward. This was the other party's king's domain. It was very terrifying. The third demon seemed to be really angry. He immediately displayed his powerful strength. Boom! The terrifying purple raccoon came over. Lin Xian also waved the ancient dragon abyss sword and slashed out. The terrifying ancient sword continued to grow in the air, forming a huge dragon that danced in the sky and crushed the purple raccoon in front of it. This was the chaotic heaven destroyer sword. Lin Xian was becoming more and more familiar with it. The power of a heaven-level sword technique coupled with the heaven-level ancient sword could be said to be very terrifying. Even a peerless almighty would have a headache if they saw it. Not to mention the third demon in front of him. Boom! Bang! The ancient dragon source sword was incomparably sharp. It descended from the sky and was very terrifying. It directly slashed at the purple raccoon. Boom! Boom! The two collided and burst out with dazzling light. An earth-shattering sound was heard, and the purple light that filled the sky broke apart. The purple raccoon screamed and was sent flying. The third demon also kept retreating and broke through the void. Blood flowed from the corner of his mouth, and his face was filled with shock. He was injured. He was actually injured. A young man in his 20s injured him with a single sword strike? He couldn't believe it at all. One had to know that he was the third demon. He was very terrifying, and his strength was comparable to a peerless almighty. Moreover, he was not careless when he attacked earlier. He used the king's domain as soon as he attacked. It could be said that he was very powerful. Even so, he was still injured by a single sword strike. Damn it! How is this possible? The fourth demon's eyelids twitched. He couldn't believe it at all. His third brother was also injured. On the black ship, the great demon and the second demon also frowned. In the distance, the people of the Teng family were scared out of their wits. Is this kid still human? How can he be so powerful? Damn kid, I'm going to kill you. In front of him, the third demon roared crazily. His eyes were cold, and the killing intent on his body soared into the sky. Buzz. In the next moment he waved his arm, and 9 purple gourds appeared in the sky. Each of them shone like stars and revolved around his head. Whoosh. Whoosh. Chapter 23-24. Those black shadows were all very powerful yikshaws. They were huge like giants and wore black battle armor. They held black triangular halberds in their hands. Demonic chi surged from their bodies. With a furious roar, 9 terrifying yikshaws charged forward together. Seeing this scene, Lin Xian also frowned because he could feel how terrifying those yikshaws were, so he was not careless. The dragon sword realm surrounded him, and countless sword chi interweaved. Behind it, terrifying phantoms appeared one after another. True Dragon, Fire Phoenix, Qilin, Black Tortoise, White Tiger, 9 powerful demonic beasts charged into the sky. They were completely condensed from sword chi, but they possessed the power of the great dragon sword soul, so they were lifelike as if they were real divine beasts that had revived. 9 huge divine beast phantoms appeared in the sky together, forming countless projections that roared in all directions. Damn it, what kind of divine ability is this? The fourth demon saw this. His pupils contracted. The Teng family's martial artists felt their scalps go numb. Even the great demon and the second demon frowned, and their eyes emitted a cold light. Damn it. Destroy. The third demon was also extremely shocked, but now he could not stop. He could only kill the other party with all his might. With a furious roar, endless power poured into the 9 yikshaws, and the 9 yikshaws burst out with a black light. Like 9 black suns, they charged forward. Boom! A shocking battle broke out in the sky. The 9 yikshaws went straight for the 9 divine beasts. It was very tragic. However, not long after, the 9 yikshaws wailed and were directly killed by the powerful divine beasts. Then Lin Xian, Ting Kuan, and the 9 powerful divine beasts charged forward together. The third demon's expression changed instantly, and his eyes were filled with deep shock. This was because the pressure from the 9 divine beasts was too terrifying. The pressure caused his muscles to hurt, and even his bones to creak. He wanted to escape, but in the next moment, he found that countless blue ice had appeared in the surrounding space, and it instantly turned into a world of frost. It completely enveloped him. Not only that, but countless frost also appeared on his body, and in an instant he was frozen into an ice sculpture. Great! He's frozen! Ling, Zhua, and the others exclaimed. On the other side, the people from the Teng family had ghastly looks on their faces. However, in the next moment, they also cried out in surprise. That was because the ice statue in front of them had suddenly exploded. The third demon coldly shouted and countless rays of light shined from its body, breaking apart the terrifying ice. At the same time, beneath his feet, the terrifying purple civet cat appeared once again. The purple raccoon's body blossomed with flames. It held a purple shield in its hand and a purple spear in its right hand. His aura seemed to be able to pierce through the 9 heavens. Therefore, in the blink of an eye, the third devil was able to resist the ice that filled the sky. Pumph! Lin Xian snorted coldly. The shadows of 9 divine beasts circled around him, and the ancient dragon abyss sword in his hand continuously slashed down. The 9 divine beast phantoms roared towards the sky, shattering the void. Lin Xian also used his ultimate move. Reverse Chaos. A terrifying sword light flashed and exploded with a powerful force, causing the entire void to tremble. A pitch-black crack instantly flew out from the long sword and extended forward. Not only that, the 9 divine beast phantoms beside him were also attacking frantically. Boom! The third demon controlled his civet cat territory and quickly counterattacked. The purple shield continued to enlarge, like a heavenly gate, blocking in front of them. Whoosh. The purple civet cat waved the spear in its hand, and it pierced through the void like purple lightning. Boom, boom. Terrifying energy exploded, and the void cracked like a piece of cloth. Light shone in all directions. The purple spear pierced through the 9 divine beast phantoms, causing 3 of them to be directly penetrated. The other few were also affected, and their light dimmed. However, the 9 divine beast phantoms and reverse chaos attacks were mixed in with the civet cat's body. Boom, boom. The purple civet cat kept retreating, and countless cracks appeared on the purple shield in its hand. Boom. The purple shield shattered into countless pieces. The civet cat's body was also severely injured, and a crack instantly appeared on its body. Sky shattering. Demon sealing. Another 2 ultimate moves were used. The purple civet cat kept retreating, and terrifying cracks appeared on its body again. In the end, it dissipated and merged into the 3rd demon's body. The 3rd demon also screamed and spat out a mouthful of blood. A few sword marks appeared on his body as if he was struck by lightning, and he was sent flying. 3rd brother. Seeing this, the 4th demon screamed crazily. The members of the Ting family were completely stunned. They were like puppets, and their minds were blank. What happened? Even the 3rd demon was defeated? How was that possible? Was this brat already this strong? Could it be that his strength was truly that of a peerless almighty? When they thought of that, they gasped, and their bodies trembled uncontrollably. The 4th demon's face was ugly. He gritted his teeth, and his body flashed. He quickly caught the 3rd demon and fed him a pill. The 3rd demon stopped bleeding, but his face was abnormally pale. His handsome face was also extremely distorted. 3rd brother, let's attack together and kill him, the 4th demon said. The 3rd demon nodded after hearing that. He stood up, and his body was wrapped in purple flames, forming a purple armor. A purple spear appeared in his hand, and a purple shield with a civet cat pattern appeared in his left hand. The 4th demon snorted coldly, and a black sword appeared in his hand. Countless vengeful spirits surrounded him. Kill, kill. 2 angry roars were heard as the 2 demons attacked again. Their attacks were like heavenly thunder, tearing the void apart. Boom, boom. They tore apart the divine beasts in front of them and quickly charged toward Lin Xian. Even if the 2 of you attack together, it won't be enough. Lin Xian roared, and his voice was like thunder. Sword chi burst out from his body, and the ancient dragon abyss sword in his hand slashed out quickly. He slashed out dozens of times in a row, and the terrifying sword chi emitted a dazzling light. It was like a shocking rainbow that cut through the void. The sword chi that filled the sky completely enveloped the 3rd and 4th demons. Boom, boom. The light dissipated, and the 3rd and 4th demons vomited blood and were sent flying again. The sound of bones breaking could be heard from their bodies. They flew for thousands of miles before they stopped. This shocking scene made everyone from the Ting family open their mouths in shock. Their faces were filled with horror. What kind of combat strength could send the 3rd and 4th demons flying at the same time? This kid was too terrifying. Zhao Zhihua also exclaimed, and Ling Er's beautiful eyes were wide open. Xiao Kuang was also shocked. Could it be that Brother Lin was already a peerless almighty? Boom. While they were shocked, the 1st and 2nd demons on the black ship were even more shocked. Among them, the 1st demon's eyes emitted a terrifying light. It was like 2 black death rays that pierced through the void. Chapter 23-25. 2nd demon stood up immediately. He was about 4 to 5 meters tall, and when he stood up, his murderous aura was overflowing, giving off a strong sense of oppression. They had no choice, as the 2 of them were too shocked. Although 3rd demon and 4th demon were not supreme mighty figures, they could definitely contend against supreme mighty figures when they joined forces. However, they were still sent flying by the other party. One could imagine that the other party had the combat power of a supreme mighty figure. They could not help but be shocked that a prodigy in his 20s had such combat power. It was no wonder that Teng Kuan had summoned them. "Kid, I'm here to take your life." 2nd demon's voice was loud and clear. However, Lin Xian shook his head. "You can't do it. Let your boss do it. He shifted his gaze away from second demon and looked at the great demon next to him. Hearing that, the great demon frowned while second demon roared angrily. Kid, you're courting death. He could not tolerate the fact that Lin Xian dared to look down on him. Kakaka. Black armor quickly appeared on his body with flames burning on it, making him look like a demon from hell. His bell-like eyes carried an indescribable majesty. A giant axe appeared in his hand. As he swung it, it easily shattered the void. I told you you're no match for me. Get lost. Lin Xian frowned when he saw that second demon was about to attack. He snorted coldly, and his voice was filled with boundless killing intent. Go to hell. Second demon was really angry. He took large strides in the air, and with each step he traversed 1,000 miles. Boom! In an instant he arrived above Lin Xian. He swung the axe in his hand as if he was cutting vegetables, trying to split Lin Xian apart. This was a kind of arrogance. Previously, Lin Xian had already shown that he had the strength of a supreme mighty figure, but second demon still dared to descend from the sky. One could only imagine how much the two demons valued their own strength. Kid, go to hell. Second demon's eyes were cold and filled with killing intent. The axe in his hand let out a rumbling sound as it came crashing down like a mountain. Boom! Lin Xian brandished the ancient dragon abyss sword and clashed with the heaven-splitting axe. Instantly, the sound of metal clashing erupted. It was like a sudden clap of thunder that spread out in all directions. Raging waves appeared in the sky, and hundreds of thousands of cracks spread in all directions. At this moment, Murong Qingqing, the third demon, the fourth demon, and the martial artists of the Teng family in the distance all held their breaths and carefully watched the battle. This was because this was a battle that belonged to the true Almighties. Sounds of collisions rang out in the sky. Lin Xian took a few steps back, and the huge sky-splitting axe was also sent flying. With the two of them at the center, all kinds of light rushed into the sky, and terrifying symbols flickered in all directions. The two of them were evenly matched in this exchange. The third and fourth devils were completely shocked. The second devil's face sank. He had cultivated for thousands of years, but he couldn't beat a young man in his 20s. This was unbearable for him. Therefore, in the next moment, he let out a furious roar and swung the heaven-splitting axe in his hand. 9 axes and 18 strikes. The second demon displayed a terrifying attack, and a shocking power fiercely blasted over. Lin Xian didn't resist at all. He stepped on the demigods and semi-devils and rapidly dodged. Countless afterimages appeared in the sky, and he instantly dodged the 18 terrifying attacks. Zhangge. The ancient sword swept out like a dragon swinging its tail, and fiercely collided with the heaven-splitting axe. Clang. The second demon was repelled. Lin Xian's figure flashed, and he quickly attacked the black ship. His real target was the great demon sitting there. What? He actually wanted to attack the great demon. Seeing this scene, everyone sucked in a cold breath. Xiao Kuang and the others were extremely shocked, and the third and fourth demon's pupils shrank. The second demon roared angrily, "Kid, you've gone too far." He was really too angry. He didn't expect that he would be ignored by the other party after displaying such a powerful strength. This was unbearable. Therefore, in the next moment, he let out a furious roar, and his eyes turned red. A sinister smile appeared on his face. No one has ever dared to ignore me. Kid, you've committed a heinous crime. I'm going to let you taste the taste of regret. At this point, the tall figure swayed again. This time, he didn't chase after Lin Xian. Instead, he stared at Xiao Ling and the others. I'll let you watch your companions die one by one. I'll enjoy these beauties for you first. The second demon laughed out loud. He stretched out a huge palm and grabbed forward. That palm was like the palm of an ancient god. It instantly covered a part of the sky and covered Murong Qingqing and Zhao Zhiro. Seeing this, the third and fourth demons sneered, and Teng Kuan and the others laughed wildly. Haha, that kid is an idiot. Let's see how his companions die. They were too happy. They didn't expect that the other party would make such a stupid mistake. Not good. Zhao Zhiling, Xiao Kuang, and the others' pupils shrank, and their faces became incomparably ugly. Although they were also geniuses, they were nothing compared to a peerless almighty. Even if the three of them joined forces, they wouldn't be able to block an attack from a peerless almighty. The only thing they could do now was to dodge. However, the other party's palm was like a heaven and earth cage, directly imprisoning the space they were in. It was very difficult to break it. Damn it, how dare you attackling the Hong sect will definitely not let you off. Xiao Kuang roared crazily. Indeed, Ling Er's identity was very special. If anything happened to her, the Hong sect would definitely go crazy. However, the second demon had already gone crazy. He didn't care about the Hong sect's revenge. What he wanted to do now was to kill the people in front of him to vent the hatred in his heart. Damn it. Seeing that the two demons were unmoved, Xiao Kuang roared angrily, and Zhao Zhirua exclaimed. However, at this moment, Murong Qingqing snorted coldly, and a bright light burst out from her body. On the other side, the dark red divine dragon screamed. Big guy, you dare to have designs on me? You're courting death. I'll definitely cut you into 18 pieces and cook you later. The dark red divine dragon was indeed angry. What did he mean? Did he think that they were ants? What a joke. Since when did he, the dark red divine dragon, become an ant? Therefore, at the next moment, he snorted coldly, and his body swayed, suddenly leaping up. Boom! He swung his dragon tail and directly hit the sky-splitting axe. A thunderous sound rang out, and a huge ball of energy shot up into the sky. At this moment, the wind and clouds in a radius of 10,000 miles changed, completely enveloped by a terrifying energy, and it was impossible to see clearly. What happened? Someone actually blocked Second Brother's attack. Chapter 23-26. The third and fourth demons furrowed their brows. That shouldn't be the case. Other than that kid, how could anyone else fight against him? Even Xiao Kuang didn't have the strength to do so. Xiao Kuang couldn't even defeat the fourth demon, let alone the second demon. However, they were soon stunned. That was because they saw a figure flying back from the sky. His huge body smashed through the void. Countless cracks appeared along the way. What's going on? Second elder brother was sent flying. How was that possible? Who was it? Who was it? Could it be that the powerhouse of the Hong sect was here? They were too shocked. Even the great demon frowned. His eyes were like two black magic lamps again, emitting a deathly light as if he wanted to see everything clearly. The cultivators of the Teng family were even more stunned. The scene at this moment was still beyond their imagination. Damn it, who was it? The second demon stopped in the sky. He wasn't injured, but his arm was numb. He couldn't even use his strength for the time being. The blood in his body was boiling. Fortunately, he suppressed it, or he would have spat out a mouthful of blood. His two bell-like eyes shone with a terrifying light. His eyes were filled with shock and surprise. The reason for that was because this scene had truly exceeded his expectations. Originally, he thought that it would be easy for him to kill these young people after the kid left. In fact, he could even kill them all with one blow. Who was it? He couldn't figure it out. However, he was certain that it was a peerless powerhouse. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to force him back. Of course, it's your grandpa dragon. Amidst the light that filled the sky, an arrogant voice rang out. For a moment, countless people looked over. The second demon waved his arm, and the huge sky-splitting axe split all the light in front of him. He wanted to see who it was. What? It's you. The second demon was stunned when he saw who it was. He wasn't the only one. Everyone was stunned. That was because they realized that the figure in front of them wasn't a powerhouse from the Hong sect, but a dragon. Of course, they didn't think that it was a dragon. That was because they didn't believe that real dragons existed in this world. However, they thought that it should be some kind of flood dragon. What made them even more shocked was that they had originally thought that it was just a pet of that kid. But who would have thought that he would be so powerful? The dark red divine dragon waved his dragon claws and said coldly, "Big guy, how dare you hit your grandpa dragon? I'll definitely kill you today." Courting death. The second devil was truly enraged. Being looked down upon by a 20-something-year-old brat had already made him very angry. Who would have thought that he would be despised by a snake? His lungs were about to explode from anger. Therefore, in the next moment, he roared and swung the heaven-splitting axe in his hand. "Oh my, you still dare to attack me? It seems like you really don't know what's good for you." The dark red dragon sneered. Just as he was about to make a move, the person beside him was even faster than him. He turned into a bolt of lightning and dashed out. The one who attacked was naturally Murong Qingqing. To be honest, she was also furious. At this moment, her delicate little face was covered with ice. Before the dark red divine dragon could make a move, he had already made the first move. With a wave of his jade-like hand, a 5-colored lotus flower flew out. Boom, boom, boom. The lotus flower collided with the heaven-splitting axe, causing a huge explosion that caused the entire space to tremble. The heaven-splitting palace kept retreating. The light on it dimmed, and the second devil retreated again. Bang, bang, bang. He created more than 10 black holes in the void before he stopped. Then, his bronze eyes shone with a crazy light. Damn it, that's impossible. He's crazy. He's really crazy. How could there be someone who could block his attack? I don't believe it. My eyes must be playing tricks on me. The third and fourth devils roared crazily. The people of the Ting family were also dumbfounded. What did they just see? A beautiful woman blocked the second devil's attack. Heavens, who is this person? First, that brat displayed the strength of a peerless almighty. Then, a dragon appeared. Now, a beautiful woman appeared. Could it be that the other party had 3 almighty powerhouses? They trembled at the thought of this. The other party had a total of 6 people, and 3 of them were peerless almighties. How dare they attack such a team? Weren't they courting death? Teng Kuan and the others wanted to slap themselves when they thought of how arrogant they were and how they looked down on the other party. We were wrong. We were all wrong. The elders of the Ting family were also frightened. These people were definitely terrifying. We shouldn't have provoked them. Damn it, who are you? The second devil roared crazily. To be honest, he had also gone crazy. In fact, some people even began to doubt themselves. How could a few young people from the other party have the same strength as him? He even suspected that he had fallen into an illusion. Murong Qingqing snorted coldly and did not answer. She said in a sweet voice, "Ruffian dragon, leave this person to me." "All right." The dark red dragon shrugged. Then he looked around and cracked the corners of his mouth. "Then I'll play with the two of you." He fixed his eyes on the third and fourth devils. Immediately, the third and fourth devils trembled, and a hint of fear appeared in their hearts. They wanted to ask for help, but they discovered that no one could save them. The second devil was stopped by the beautiful woman, and the great devil was personally attacked by that young fellow. The people from the Ting family were no match for them at all. "Damn it, how dare you look down on us?" The third devil roared furiously while the fourth devil gritted his teeth. "That's right. Do you really think that you can fight against us just because you blocked second brother's attack? You're too naive. I'm guessing that you must have used a secret technique to forcefully increase your combat power. Just watch, we'll kill you in a while." The third and fourth devils soared into the sky and charged madly at the dark red dragon. Soon a great battle broke out. The dark red dragon and Murong Qingqing exchanged blows with their opponents. On the other side, Lin Xian swayed and appeared in front of the great devil. The great devil was a middle-aged man. His face was as sharp as a knife, and his eyes were cold. He was as emotionless as the god of death. At this moment, he was sitting on a black devil chair. "Come, let me see what you're capable of. How dare you assassinate me?" Lin Xian pointed his sword in front of him. The great devil's expression became even colder. "Young fellow, I have to say that you've exceeded my expectations. I didn't expect you to have the combat power of a peerless almighty. You must have reached the level of a saint. However, you're too arrogant. Do you think that you can fight against me just like that? Well, it's been a long time since I've killed a saint. Today, I'll use you as a sacrifice." The great devil slowly stood up. Chapter 23-27. Take out your strongest attack, otherwise, you won't have a chance. The great demon snorted and looked down from above. In his hand, countless wisps of black gas circled around, forming a death scythe. His eyes were abnormally cold, and his body carried a powerful aura as if a peerless demon king had descended to the human world. With a wave of his arm, the black scythe turned into a huge black moon and slashed forward. In an instant, they would have been killed long ago. Terrifying black gas filled the air, the great devil and a murderous aura pierced through the nine heavens. Cold expression. This attack was terrifying to the extreme, and it was even stronger than the second demon's attack. Very strong, but he did not expect his opponent to be so strong that he could be on par with him. Lin Xian's ancient sword slashed horizontally, colliding with the black scythe. Full strength after that attack. The two of them moved like lightning as they exchanged as his black hair danced in the wind. This was a huge battle. His eyes flashed like lightning. Lin Xian was a young genius, and his combat strength was extremely strong. The surroundings. In addition, with the dragon sword overturned the entire dragon sword soul, he became stronger again. Strength was shocking. What a terrifying aura. On the other side, the great demon and the others retreated frantically, and he had a fierce reputation in the nine underworlds like lightning. He could be said to be a peerless powerhouse. Could it be that the great devil did not use his full strength were exchanging blows? They started to causing the sky to fall and the earth to rend. In the skies, in an instant, the great demon roared out in rage in all directions. He was like a peerless demon king. Retreat. The black scythe in his hand became even more bizarre, and the others let out a sharp cry and on the other side down from the sky like a demon. Martial artists also retreated frantically. Appeared and they retreated downwards for thousands of meters, and it was still getting bigger. Shocking attack. If one was swallowed up by this weapons was like a clap of thunder. Even a peerless almighty would not be able to escape. Lin Xian attacked again. On the other hand, his right fist speed was black flames burned like a black sun as he directly punched towards the great demon. And with a sky-shattering strike, the great demon slammed into the black and raised his left palm to meet the black fist. The ancient dragon abyss sword emitted a dazzling terrifying light, and the great dragon sword soul in his body began to revolve wildly, as if two gods of war were fighting. Terrifying combat strength sword, how is this possible? And he wanted to shatter his opponent's weapon. The great demon. Everyone was stunned. An earth-shattering sound rang out, the others, rushing straight into the clouds, to know that this was the great terrifying wave of energy to rise up in the void. Demons. It was thousands of feet tall, for more than 2,000 years, in all directions, and was extremely terrifying. In an instant, the area within a radius of tens of thousands of li turn and run when they heard the name of the great demon. However, they would not dare to fight him at all. Was incomparably terrifying. One could imagine how terrifying a great demon weapon. So but under today, such a powerful youth in his 20s was actually able to fight bit by bit demon to a draw. Dimming. Not to mention the warriors of the Teng clan. Damn it, the second devil for me. The third devil, the great demon, and the fourth devil were all extremely shocked. Endless demonic although they were fighting with their opponents, their focus had always been on the great devil, turning into now that they saw the two of them fighting to a draw. It instantly rushed in all directions. If they had been struck by lightning, god summoning. Their minds went blank. The great demon held the black scythe and slashed out horizontally. How could between heaven and earth against Big Brother, chi of death, the second devil howled in rage, and an illusory image of a death god appeared out of nowhere. The flower petals suddenly surrounded him and slammed into his armor. Miles away, it made a tinkling sound. Warriors, the second devil staggered and the others backward, all trembled, coughing up mouthfuls of blood. They felt that their souls were about to be destroyed. I'll fight you to the death. Was this the power of the great demon? Devil let out a howl of rage as he ignored the god devil. He held the heaven-splitting axe with both hands when the death god summoning appeared. Murong Qingqing, the dark red divine dragon, used the jade lake's great divine ability to fight against her. The second demon, on the other side, the third demon, the three demons and four demons were screaming in agony. Big Brother is now surrounded by danger. He has used his divine ability was too terrifying. Just wait and see, and the flames in the sky made them feel like they were being barbecued. They retreated a few thousand miles, they felt that their opponent was increasing the distance between them. They looked into the distance. Murong Qingqing and the dark red divine dragon did not make any more moves. This was because they also felt the terror of this attack. Lin Xian was the closest, so he naturally felt it too. A strong sense of danger instantly enveloped him, as if his soul was about to be extinguished. Under my death god summoning, you will die in the 18 levels of hell. On the other side, the great demon let out a cold voice. The death god's illusory image gradually became clearer. Chapter 23-28. That strong sense of threat grew even stronger. Many people knelt on the ground and trembled. They could not resist at all. The huge Grim Reaper stretched out its hands and was about to envelop Lin Xian. Lin Xian snorted and a golden light appeared in his eyes. Soul ignition. It was a terrifying eye technique attack. A mysterious flame flew out of his right eye and enveloped the two Grim Reaper's hands. The two Grim Reaper's hands burned and the terrifying power of death disappeared instantly. At the same time, the great demon spat out a mouthful of blood and his face turned pale. Damn it! How is this possible? How can you break my Grim Reaper's summon? He was crazy. The Grim Reaper's summon was a terrifying soul attack that could summon the shadow of the Grim Reaper. It could instantly grab the enemy's soul. As long as the soul was destroyed, the warrior would be considered dead even if the physical body was not injured. As the demonic
It could be
runes
said
appeared,
that it was a
terrifying
vengeful
attack that was
spirits
impossible to
around
guard
him.
against.
The ferocious
Even a
ghost
peerless
faces
almighty
roared
could not
and
resist
roared.
it. They
However,
formed a
he did not
mysterious
expect it
defense
to
that
fail
protected
now.
the great
The
demon's
divine
forehead.
ability that he was proud
Brat,
of,
I'll
the
let
Grim
you know
Reaper
the price
summon,
of injuring
had been
me.
broken by his
After
opponent.
using the death curse,
Around him,
the great
second,
demon was no
third,
longer
and
worried
fourth
about being
demons were
attacked by a
stunned and
soul
disbelief
attack.
was written
His
all
body
over their
once
faces.
again emitted a
They originally
terrifying
thought that
killing
this
intent.
move could kill
The
Lin
black
Xian.
scythe in his hand
However,
was mixed
things
with
had
endless
greatly
demonic
exceeded
chi.
their expectations.
It was like a black moon
However,
that directly
while they were
pressed
surprised
down.
and surprised,
The black demonic
Lin
chi
Xian's
covered
eyes
the
once
heavens.
again blossomed
The
with
sky
even
was
more
filled with
mysterious
killing
flames
intent
that pierced through all directions.
The flames
Black
followed the
lightning
arm of the
streaked
Grim
across the
Reaper's
sky.
shadow and spread
At this moment,
the great demon
in the
was
next
like a
moment,
demon god,
a painful roar
erupting with
resounded between
unparalleled
heaven
power.
and earth like
But
an ancient
the
Sanskrit
floating
chant.
light in Lin
The
Xian's
Grim
left
Reaper's
eye was
shadow
unleashed.
became distorted
As
and
for the
crazy.
great demon,
Damn
his
it.
body stopped.
Seeing this,
A
the
ferocious
great demon
appeared in
roared
his
and
eyes,
waved his black
but it
scythe.
quickly returned to normal.
The Grim
The
Reaper's
only
scythe
change was that
also
the
appeared in
vengeful
his hand.
spirits around him
He
were
waved
even
it
more
forcefully
miserable,
and cut off
as
the
if they had been
mysterious
struck by
flames
lightning
to ensure that
he
he was not
screamed
burned.
crazily.
However,
In fact,
after doing
many
this,
of them
the
directly
great demon's
dissipated.
face was
He
very
was
pale.
transferred.
Obviously,
Seeing this
he had
scene,
also
Lin
been
Xian
affected by
frowned.
the impact.
His body
Moreover,
swayed and
his
he dodged the
injuries
other
were not
party's
light.
attack.
Damn brat,
He
I'll kill
realized
you.
that his
With
floating
a
light
roar,
had lost
he
its
waved
effect.
his scythe again.
To be precise,
Floating light.
it did not disappear,
The golden
but
rune
was
transferred
transferred
by
by
the
the
great
Xian's
demon.
left eye once
The
more
other party
emitted a
used a very
mysterious
magical
light.
ability to
Instantly,
transfer the
the
soul
great devil's
attack
body
to the surrounding
trembled and his
vengeful
eyes
spirits.
went blank.
This was
Demon
also the
ceiling.
reason why the
Reverse
surrounding
chaos.
vengeful spirits
The two
were
killer
screaming.
moves quickly
In the
shot
distance, the
Pun,
dark
ping,
red
pun.
dragon frowned
The great
when he saw
demon
this
was
scene.
sent flying.
The death
He
curse
spat
was
out
an
large
ancient
mouthfuls of
cultivation
blood.
technique.
His
It
body
seemed that
knocked
the
over
great
a dozen
demon was
mountain
not
peaks,
simple,
stirring
he
up a
actually
large
knew
amount of
such a
dust.
lost ancient
Big brother,
technique. In the
Brat,
distance,
it's useless.
the third
I
devil
have
and the others
thousands of
screamed
vengeful
crazily.
spirits.
You can't hurt
and
me
the
at all.
others felt their
The
scalps
great
go
demon
numb.
was ferocious as he
Even the
slashed
great
down with the
demon
black
was sent
scythe
flying.
in his hand. Could it be that this
Do you think
brat
that
was
without the
already
soul
invincible?
attack, I can't do
Boom.
anything to you?
Demonic chi
Lin
rose up
Xian
as the
snorted
great
coldly.
demon rose up
A
from the ground
terrifying
and
light
roared
burst
into
out
the
from his
sky.
eyes.
He was like
The
a
dragon
demon
sword
king,
realm
looking
instantly
extremely
flew out,
ferocious.
and 108,000
a black armor
swords
appeared
flew
on
across
his
the
body.
sky.
In front
The
of
death
him was a
god's
shield
strike.
formed
The
by a
great
ghost
demon
face.
roared.
The
The
ghost
death
face
god's
shield
shadow
was full of
appeared
cracks,
behind him again,
but it was not broken.
Then, the death
seemed
god's
like the
scythe
shield had
slashed
saved
down
the
together
great
with
demon.
his movements.
Whoosh!
Boom,
After taking a
boom.
few steps,
This attack
the great
was too
demon
terrifying.
instantly flew back.
Even an almighty
His face
might
was
not be able to
abnormally
withstand
cold.
it.
Soul attack.
Lin Xian
Damn it.
also roared.
You're actually a
9
soul
mysterious
expert.
runes
He
appeared
was simply
on the
too
ancient
shocked.
dragon abyss
Originally,
sword.
he wanted
One
to
of
use
them
a
was
soul
instantly
attack to kill
dissolved.
the other party
Boom.
and achieve
At the
an
same
unexpected
time,
effect.
an earth-shattering
But he did not
aura
expect
surged
that
out
the
from
other
the
party's
ancient
soul
dragon
was
abyss
even
sword.
stronger than his.
It was as if
and
an
his
almighty
attack was
sword
even
had
stranger
awakened
than his.
and swept through the
However,
9 heavens.
do you think that a
The
soul
terrifying
attack can do
sword
anything
light
to me?
traversed tens
The
of
great
thousands of
demon
miles.
quickly formed a
In an
seal with his
instant,
palm.
the second
Death
and third
curse.
demons were sent
A cold
flying.
voice sounded.
The dark red
Then,
dragon and
countless
Murong
black runes
Qingqing
appeared
also
on his
quickly
forehead.
retreated. They were like demonic runes, forming a terrifying mark. In the distance, the Teng family members retreated tens of thousands of miles again. Boom. Crack. In front of them, countless sword chi swept across, and the space instantly collapsed. Damn it, what's going on? This aura? The great demon was shocked. Then his pupils constricted. There was something wrong with that sword. Boom. Just as he reacted, the ancient dragon abyss sword slashed down. The 1,000-meter-long giant sword slashed forward. In an instant, it collided with the death god's scythe. A strong storm occurred between heaven and earth, and everything within a radius of 100,000 miles was enveloped. Boom, boom, boom. Tens of thousands of mountains disappeared together. Large patches of forests collapsed, and cracks tens of thousands of meters long appeared on the ground. There were hundreds of them. It was extremely terrifying. Chapter 23-29. The great demon roared angrily. The armor on his body bloomed with light, and the ghost mask shield in front of him emitted a black demonic light. On the other side, beside Lin Xian, the dragon sword domain enveloped him, forming the shadow of a true dragon that coiled around him. Boom, boom, boom. Continuous rumbling sounds could be heard as the violent energy between heaven and earth burst forth. In the end, the great demon's ghost mask finally couldn't withstand it anymore. It was already covered in cracks, but after receiving such a strong impact, it exploded with a bang. The energy immediately struck the great demon's body. Poof! In an instant, the great demon's body caved in and he spat out large mouthfuls of blood. Countless of his bones were broken. Damn it! Death storm! The great demon roared angrily and waved his black scythe crazily to counterattack.
Fourth devil.
Boom! Seeing this,
On
the
the other
second
side,
devil roared
Lin
crazily,
Xian's body
and his
bloomed
killing
with light.
intent surged. He supported the
Damn it,
dragon
I'm
sword
going to kill
domain
you
and
all.
isolated
I must
himself
kill you
from
all.
all the impact. He was too angry.
At the same time,
he did not expect
the ancient
his sword
sword
in
and
his hand
fourth devils to
descended
be killed.
crazily again.
If you want to take
his
revenge,
four ultimate
let's
moves
see if you have
quickly
the ability
surged
to
out.
do so.
The terrifying
Lin Xian
energy
snorted
completely
coldly.
destroyed the
The
area
ancient
in
dragon
front of
of his
him.
sword once
Bang,
again slashed out dozens
bang.
of terrifying
The death storm
sword
was
chi
instantly
slashing
broken.
forward.
The great demon's
Bang,
body
bang.
was once
The
again
second devil
impacted,
spat
and he
out
kept
blood
retreating
again
and flew backward.
More and more of his
a crack
bones
even
were
appeared
broken,
on his
and even his
sky-splitting
armor
axe.
was cracked.
Second devil,
Some places
come up
directly
quickly.
collapsed.
Leave this
Damn
place. Demon
great
King
devil
Lock
shouted coldly.
Block it for me.
He also
The
wanted
great
to
demon
fight back
spat
and
out
avenge
large
his
mouthfuls
third and
of
fourth
blood
devils,
and roared crazily.
but he could not do it at all.
Endless black energy
His opponent's
formed a
strength
black
was far
demonic
beyond
lock
his
on his body,
expectations,
completely
Big
protecting
Brother,
his body.
activate the black
However,
demon ship
he was
and kill
still
them.
sent flying
The
tens
second
of
devil
thousands of
shouted
miles.
crazily as
How
he
could this
retreated.
be?
Buzz,
I don't believe
in
it.
fact, the
After
great
the
devil
great
was
demon
already
stopped,
doing so.
he kept
This
vomiting
black
blood
ship was
and
also
roaring
a treasure.
crazily.
It
A
had
young
surpassed
man
the
in his
peak of the
20s
earth
had
rank and
seriously
had reached
injured
the
him.
level of a
How was
sub-heaven
this
rank
possible?
treasure.
In
It
the
could be
next
said
moment,
that it was
he charged
extremely
over crazily
terrifying.
again.
Not only
However,
could this
he
black
was soon
ship
sent
fly,
flying
but it
again.
could also attack
The armor
and
on
defend.
his body was
At
shattered,
this moment,
and a sword
the
mark
great devil
appeared,
activated
cutting
the
deep
black
into his
demon
bones.
ship. Boom.
He knew that
The
he
black
couldn't
demon
defeat
ship
the other
trembled
party.
slowly.
The
A
other
black
party was
light shone
powerful
and a
and had an
vortex formed on
extremely
top of it.
terrifying treasure
Black
sword.
demon light. If they
Go to
continued
hell.
fighting,
The
he
great
probably
devil
wouldn't be able
activated
to
it
turn the
crazily.
tables. Suddenly,
Thinking of
a
this,
black light
his
was
expression
emitted from the
turned
black
ugly,
demon
and
ship
he looked
and
unwilling.
surged forward.
However,
This light
there was
was
nothing
too
he could do.
terrifying.
In
It could
the end,
definitely
he
kill
roared
a peerless
angrily and
almighty.
waved his sleeve,
Go to hell.
enveloping Tang
Seeing
Kun
this
and the
scene,
others
the
as he
second
flew
devil
towards the black
sneered.
ship.
On the
The black
ship,
sleeves were
Tang
like
Kun
dark
and
clouds,
the others revealed
covering
a
a
sinister
radius of
smile.
10,000 miles.
No one could survive
In an
under
instant,
the black demon
Tang
light.
Kun and the other
Even a
cultivators
peerless
were
almighty
all
could
sucked
not
in.
resist it.
The great
Although
devil's
these
body
people were
flickered
powerful,
as he arrived
they
on the
were
black ship.
definitely dead this
The
time.
second devil,
Not
the
good.
third devil,
On the
and
other
the fourth
side,
devil
tens
also
of thousands of
rapidly
miles
retreated,
away,
wanting
Ling,
to leave.
Xiao
You want to
Kuang,
leave?
and the others' eyelids
Stay here.
twitched. The dark
Murong
red divine
Qingqing
dragon
also
sneered
frowned.
and swung
The
its
dark
dragon
red divine
claws at
dragon
the three
also
demons
felt a
and
sense
four
of danger.
demons.
It
Murong
said,
Qingqing
"Kid,
also
quickly take
unleashed
out the
her
black
flying
earth.
flower slash. Come
Flower
in.
petals that
Lin
filled the
Xian
sky
did not
condensed
hesitate
into
and
a
sent
sharp
out the
blade
black
light
earth.
that slashed
Then
down
he
from the
pulled
sky.
Murong Qingqing
Bang,
and the
clang.
others in.
In an
When
instant,
Murong
the
Qingqing
second devil,
and the others
the
entered,
third devil,
the black
and the fourth
demon
devil
light
were all
bombarded
attacked.
the black earth.
Two devils
Suddenly,
were still fine.
a shocking
After
explosion
all,
occurred.
they were peerless
The
almighties
terrifying
and
black
could still
light
block
waves
them.
swept in all
However,
directions.
3 and
The
4
surrounding
devils were not so
100,000
lucky.
miles fell
Under the
into chaos.
serious state of the dark
space
red mystical
shattered
dragon,
and the earth rolled.
the two of them were pierced
The violent
through,
energy
and their hearts
formed
were grabbed by the
900
dragon's
black light
claws.
pillars that
Bang,
pierced
bang.
through the clouds.
Not only that,
This scene
but their
was like
bodies
the end of the
also
world.
exploded in the
The
sky,
mountains and
turning
forests
into
below,
two clouds
as
of
well
blood
as the
mist.
demonic beasts inside,
were
on
all
the big
destroyed
black ship
in an instant.
Tang Kun and the
Nothing
others
could
saw
survive.
this as soon as they landed.
Even a few mighty
they were
beings who were
extremely
passing
shocked,
by were
and all of
reduced
them
to
began
ashes
to tremble.
by this energy storm.
Two of the members
It
of
was
the
too
4 devils
terrifying.
of Jili were killed at the same time. If this news were to spread, the entire Jili dynasty would be in an uproar. On the black demon ship, Tang Kun, the Tang family's eldest young master, and the others swallowed their saliva when they saw this scene. A black light screen appeared on the black ship and enveloped them. Countless runes shone and formed a strong defense, blocking all the energy attacks. No matter what, they could finally kill them this time. The Tang family members heaved a sigh of relief. Dying like this was too easy for them. The second devil snorted. The other party killed his third and fourth brothers. He wanted to cut them into pieces. He was indeed displeased by the fact that he had been killed with a single blow. Don't worry, he would not let them go so easily. The great devil said coldly, "When we return, use all our power to investigate these people's families and sections. Anyone related to them will be killed. Leave no one alive." In the next moment, a sharp light appeared in his eyes, and the first seal of the Dragon Source ancient sword was quickly undone. At the same time, the great dragon sword soul in his body roared crazily. Lin Xian also launched a shocking attack. This sword was too terrifying, as if it resonated with heaven and earth. Endless dragon roars and sword cries rang out. Boom! This sword slammed onto the black sickle, and a shocking explosion sounded, stopping the black sickle's advance. He blocked it. Seeing this scene, Murong Qingqing heaved a sigh of relief and stopped advancing. She retreated to the side and continued to watch. What? How is this possible? The great demon was also stunned. How is it possible that the other party can also increase his battle strength? Could it be that the other party has some secret technique? Chapter 2340. With the three major factions attacking, the surrounding family members no longer hesitated. They shouted angrily and attacked together. Boom, boom, boom. Up in the sky, on the ground, in all directions, there were terrifying energy waves that completely covered the entire sky. Ruffian dragon, do it. Don't hold back. Lin Xian said in a deep voice. Armor appeared on his body, and the ice goddess statue appeared to protect him. Above his head, the dragon sword realm floated up and down. Under his feet, the demon-slaying sword array quickly recovered, and he kept swinging the ancient dragon abyss sword in his hand. Facing so many experts, Lin Xian did not dare to be careless. On the other side, the dark red divine dragon was also roaring. His body suddenly expanded and turned into a divine dragon that was 100 feet long. He bared his fangs and brandished his claws in the air. He opened his mouth and spat out balls of dragon flame. Not only that, but dark clouds gathered in the sky. Lightning, strong winds, and torrential rain poured down. Those who were touched by the flames vomited large mouthfuls of blood and were severely injured. The two of them attacked with all their might, and it was truly terrifying. For a moment, the energy waves that were rushing from all directions were shattered. Large groups of martial artists vomited blood and were sent flying. The weaker ones exploded or were split in half. In short, it was very miserable. The sky was instantly dyed red. The blood was absorbed by the demon-slaying sword array under his feet. Then, the blood turned into demonic beasts that roared ferociously in all directions. Damn it! He's too powerful. Many people were terrified. However, the attack did not dissipate. Because this time, the Tai dynasty had mobilized all their forces to capture that person. They had many experts on their side. Sure enough, in the crowd, an old man snorted coldly. He waved his hand and a 5-colored rainbow fell from the sky. The rainbow was very dreamy. It turned into a light curtain and enveloped Lin Xian. It was the 5-colored divine red. Many people exclaimed. However, an old man shouted coldly. No, that's the tail of the 5-colored divine bird. I didn't expect it to be a cosmic artifact. It was absolutely terrifying. The 5-colored divine bird was a kind of exotic beast from ancient times. It was very terrifying. The 5-colored feathers on his body were excellent materials for refining artifacts. He did not expect that someone would really succeed. Needless to say, the one who attacked was definitely a terrifying expert from the Tai dynasty. Sure enough, the 5-colored rainbow was extremely terrifying. It was like a bottle of heavenly sabers descending, capable of destroying everything. Let's see how you're going to block this. The old man sneered.
This five-colored rainbow was a treasure that he had refined for more than 800 years. Its power was extremely terrifying. Thinking about it, the other party would definitely not be able to escape. Lin Xian naturally felt the power of the five-colored rainbow from the energy that filled the sky. In the next moment, his feet flashed, and his speed suddenly exploded, leaving the place in an instant. The original void was directly shattered, and Lin Xian appeared in another place. At the same time, he raised his hand and shot out the power of ice and fire, forming the Hell's Ice Lotus and flying to the left. Boom! Boom! The Hell's Ice Lotus blasted onto the five-colored rainbow, creating a shocking explosion. The five-colored rainbow was enveloped by the power of ice and fire and instantly shattered. As for that old man, he vomited blood and was sent flying. Disbelief filled his face. Damn it, I don't believe it. Die for me. At this moment, another person also charged over. He was an elder of the Teng family. He held a soaring snake walking stick in his hand,